All right, and hello everyone. Um, I'm sorry I'm getting started a little bit late, but I was listening to jam transmissions at work, and I should have been working, so I'm going to blame them for me starting late. Yeah, that's really what it was. So, all right. Um, I think we got a couple people in here. I'm not sure who's still here. I was supposed to start at 10 o'clock, but I gave a little warning that I might be starting a little bit late just because, you know, how work goes and everything. Um, so here we go. I've never done this before. I usually invite people before we start um, and get things going, but since yeah, so there we go, right there. If you want to get on the chat, feel free to click that link and you can get on. If not, I will just talk. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do today, if I was going to do a live chat or if I was going to just play some Fallen Order. And a couple people said, do a live chat, do a live chat. So I did what people said, and I'm doing a little live chat now. So I figured I'll do a live chat for a little while and then go on to some Fallen Order later on. Yeah, so just catching up. Yeah, it's totally not my fault at all. Well, I mean, it was kind of wishful thinking to do 10 o'clock because I knew wouldn't get out of work till 10, so or get out of work till 9. Um, but I we did the live chat yesterday, and um, I guess I don't even know where. I'm still not all. Oh, there it is. Still all together here. Um, just kind of together. So, um, bear with me. Um, I guess because, well, I mean, you don't really have it. Well, you could leave, but that wouldn't be nice. That would make me cry. Um, so I don't know what anybody really wants to talk about. Um, if there's anything left over from um, jam transmissions that they want to talk about or whatever. So um, yeah, I got a couple things. Um, I don't know why that's on that. That's very strange. So I'm still just trying to get a couple things figured out here and set up because um, you know, well, I mean, things left over besides who Chris King wants to fight, but um, there's just joking on that one. But yeah, so I'm still trying to get this. Do. Um, yeah, this is all the great behind the scenes stuff that I, would have done already if there was time. But just going on here for a couple things really quick. Oh, I didn't even know that was there. That is a one of the pillow pails, I think it is. Or whatever. I had just bought one. I just went over to Facebook to click on Facebook that I'm on here, and it's showing me a memory telling me to share that it's 2014. I think that's a little bit not right. So, um, yeah, it's the Chewy doll. It used to be on the bed, but it was always fall down behind it, and I'd lose it for weeks or whatever until um, it was found again. Okay, we got Charlie Skywalker coming in here to help us out. Charlie, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello? All right, awesome.
Yeah.
New mic. So,
All right. You got a new mic and new headset.
yes.
Couldn't turn it up for a minute. Oh, I like the shirt too, there, Charlie. That's very nice. Um, all right. So just to start off, I want to thank and let everyone know that this episode is brought to you by my two patrons, Chris from Kentucky and Mr. Rez. Um, thank you very much for your support and everything along those lines. Because, all right, so, all right, let's see. I gotta go over here.
No worries. Just take your time. It's I know it's a rush when you get off work to try to get everything all settled in.
So my thoughts on Mando episode 8. I thought it was amazing. I talked a little bit last night how um, someone that's never watched Star Wars before could have watched Mando, and especially this last episode, and not and been able to follow along completely, and not really question about how things are or how they were. Um, everything tied in, and then you have us hardcore fans or whatever you want to call it, and the last scene in there where everyone was going crazy and loved it. If you were just a casual fan or watching Star Wars for the first time, you'd think it was cool, but not really know that it means anything. Until next season, where
I,
we're all,
I,
thank God we watched Clone Wars. Thank God we watched Rebels. Everything ties in perfectly. Then you have people, that are then asking questions about it, that want to know. Um, you know, I I think, I mean, there was just so much in that episode where you go from, I'm like, one of my favorite characters was, I call him Gary Busey, even though I know it wasn't Gary Busey. Kroll or Cull. Um, he was one of my favorite
the Ugnaught.
characters. Yeah. Um, yeah, when the reaction show that Mike and I do or have done, we call him Gary Busey on it as a joke. We know his name's not Gary Busey. That's just what we call him. A lot of times with the movies and stuff, or something like this, what like when we were recording, we wouldn't know someone's name, and we would just give them a name or something like that, and it would just kind of stick. Um, so
Make yeah.
instead of like a couple times, like while one of us were talking, we'd IMDb it and see what it was, but other times we would, no one was watching our reaction to it, looking for like news or action in depth, analysis of it. It was more just kind of because we get a little wacky sometimes. So people are watching more for entertainment than they are for a breakdown of actual things. With every once in a while some information thrown in, um, and then you have the best comedy in Star Wars yet. In that, with the biker scouts. Um, what is it?
That was pretty funny.
That it's rumored again to be, um, I'm not too much on the EU, but Tags and Bink. Even though I think that's their name, even though that would be, I think they'd be a little bit too old um, to be biker scouts, since they were at one point Imperials, well, officers or whatever. But that would be a nice little note. Charlie, you might know. I know you're better on the EU than I am, because I really aren't. I'm not on the EU at all. Um,
Well, back in the EU at this time, the empire's pretty much disbanded, and it's just they're mercenaries. They're people that are just looking for a paycheck, and the armor is there and available. The just random people would gather form their own companies to to do whatever protection services or whatever. And that's what it seemed like to me. Just the off banter was just like, what, these guys probably either older and just tired of it and they're just there for the paycheck, or it's just they weren't even really imperial. They just found some uniforms. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll play security detail, until something better comes along.
mhm. um, yeah, and I think the way that you know they tie things in are is was really good. You know, um, I wish Filoni and Favreau had, and I'm not trying to start anything or say anything. I wish they would have had a little bit more to do with some of the movies. If this is what they can do with the Mandalorian, um, you know, but that's kind of neither here nor there. That's another topic in itself. Um, so, well, it kind of ties into the question on my thoughts on the Rise of Skywalker, but um, so that was where my only thing that I don't really get is when Moff Gideon says, "Hey, I'm going to give you guys till the sun comes down." I don't know if that's because he was only doing that to stall because they didn't have Baby Yoda yet, and he was giving himself that time, knowing that he could possibly use them. Um, if it was you don't have like your choices, you either die or you help me find Baby Yoda. And we still haven't found him yet or don't have him. So, that's the only reason he was giving them time. But he could have just laid waste to them and it would have been over. Now, I know that could have been a directorial thing, but I think that is just, you know, an unneeded thing that he should have done. He could have been trying to wait out before he drops, kills them all. They could have taken longer for them to set up the gun. They could have been waiting for the gun to be delivered, or like whatever it takes. There could have been other ways for them to stall. Unless you're going, it was the old western. We're gonna give you till sundown before we shoot you up, or whatever it is. Give you time to um, surrender or something like that. But um, yeah, I'm just trying to
Yeah,
think.
I agree with you. It with his reputation being as hard as it was, and for him to, oh, hey, you know what, we'll give you till sundown. I thought that was kind of odd. It wasn't near as aggressive as what they made him out to be. So that's why I thought it was either a stalling tactic for some reason, or it does fit in with that spaghetti western where you have to sundown to get out of town. Otherwise, you have to face our wrath.
Yeah. Um, but I'm trying to think what else happened in there. IG-11 being the nanny droid, the nurse, whatever. Um, that was good. That's funny. Classic Star Wars humor. Um, I guess, and then the banter with him and the Mandalorian as the Mandalorian is dying for him to go and save him, and just showing the, you know, um, why does the Mandalorian say to him, you can't see me um, with my mask off when he's definitely a droid. So how does that um, come to play? Because is he now seeing him as more of a person, where you get to droid rights and things like that, where droids are people too? So he's actually seeing IG-11 as a person, or where droids are equal or equivalent to human beings because they're learning, and they're intelligent creatures, even though they're man-made or droid-made, um, kind of thing. So that was kind of interesting too. Um, and then yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Yeah. We question transmissions that asked about Star Wars New Year's resolutions. I'm not sure if you've given that, Michael. Um, I know mine are uh, to get this podcast that I'm working on up and running, uh, and to get that in a professional way, rather than just kind of futzing around with it. Actually commit myself to it and putting out a good product. I just dropped the trailer for the podcast, so it's a step in the right direction. Tomorrow, I start construction on the that I'm going to put in the house. Um, but so for me, as far as Star Wars, that's uh, my main resolution in a profession.
And I mean, that's a great resolution, but you know, not that you've asked for any, but if I can give you any advice, just go and start it, because it's not going to be perfect. I mean, um, you know, those of you that know my story, I started doing this to make Star Wars friends, and started doing every imaginable kind of thing that you could do on YouTube. I was trying to do breaking news one week, and then the next week I was trying to, you know, dissect and talk about episodes and things, and then the next week I tried something different, and just trying to find out like what I wanted to do, because I didn't really sit down and say, okay, let's plan this out, let's see what we can do, what's the best thing or whatever, what am I going to be good at, what am I strengths and weaknesses or whatever. I just started doing stuff, and instantly right away I got Star Wars friends, and started doing it, and kept doing it, and then decided I bit off more than I could chew, and started doing a daily podcast, or YouTube, and it was taking me 4 or 5 hours a day to do it, because I was trying to do it by myself and go through and do the research, and don't have a lot of computer skills and editing and finding the pictures and everything I needed, and just kind of did that for daily for 2 months or whatever it was, and just got so burnt out I just stopped for almost a year until Celebration started. um but if I wouldn't have done that 2 months where I spent 5 hours a day, hi, happy new year almost. Well,
That's
you
my
still
little.
got a while, because you're in another country. you're in
Well, just about. Yeah,
you're
it's mountain
yeah,
time.
yep, that's pretty much another country. um but I mean, so it's like, I just started and it wasn't good, and it's still not that good. um I just do it to have fun and meet friends and talk with people, and I have, if my girlfriend was home right now, I'd be in the other room doing it with just a wall, She's not here, so I have my I don't have a studio set up. I have a coffee table with a laptop on it, and a camera. So it's just eventually things will
Right.
get better, and I'll be able to do
Well,
some better editing and have. I had to buy a new computer, so I'll be able to upgrade my computer and have more RAM in there, so I'll be able to upload or download faster. Um, and be able to do more things. And like I was saying yesterday, the Advent calendar videos I was doing, a 5 minute video would still take me a half hour or whatever, because even if I didn't have to edit it, because by the time I render it and then upload it and then have to download it again and then send it back up to YouTube, um, you know, but yeah, that's pretty much. I don't know why I just keep talking about this, but yeah, just just
no, that's
put it out there, because every all the popular, or the podcasts that we all listen to that are well known and whatever, they'll tell you their first X amount of episodes are cringeworthy and they were horrible and they don't really know what was going on or what they were doing. And just you have a better idea than most, since you've been around. So um, yeah, just start putting it out, and if it's you're not going to like it, chances are you're not going to like what you put out anyways, for a while, until you get used to doing it, and then you just build on from there. um,
yeah. I already don't like my own voice. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. The only reason I'm really putting in a place to do the recording is I did a couple of podcasts, one with Pete Fletzer and one with Scarif, and the kids kept running back and forth, and they're kind of under the weather and coughing a lot, and so that's all you hear in the background. And so just wanted to get a place where I could kind of go a little bit away, a little buffer, that way when I do record, it's semi quiet and less interruptions. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. I'm still want to participate in all the other podcasts that I do. Your channel, like we normally do on Mondays. It's just it's going to be a great experience.
so yeah, I just start whenever you're ready. Start just that's it. Just start putting it out whenever you're ready. Um, so well, I think I'm already signed up for you. So tell everybody who's on here and going to be watching where to go find you, or what the name of it is.
All right, yeah, on Twitter, Star Wars Through the Ages, or my other is Charlie Skywalker. Yeah, the podcast is Star Wars Through the Ages. It's going to be as positive as I can make it. Just covering everything from the Star Wars timeline all the way through our timeline. I've been a fan for 42 years now. So it covers a lot of territory, lots of ups, lots of downs, lots of in betweens, and yeah, it's going to be great to discuss it with everybody.
Yeah. So um, we have yeah. So my resolution is to um, do some comics. That's really the only thing I don't do is comics, and the guys at Broaxium set me up with. They tailored a little package to me, for because I know some of them, personally, or not really personally, but met them at I've met them before, or known them for a while. So they told me, okay, you should check this out, check this out, and this out. So I got the whatever the Amazon um, comic book thing is, or whatever, that you can just download, um, Comicology or something like that. And they gave me a couple to do, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do oh, this looks good, this looks good, I'll do this, this, and this. And I think it was like 7,000 pages I downloaded, or I didn't download them. I have them in my library to watch or to see. So I'm gonna just start doing those because a lot of them are old ones that they have um, all together. Like the original, not the original Star Wars, but the Star Wars series that just ended. They have pretty much all of them on there. That it costs me $5.95 a month or whatever, and you get unlimited back issues. So I've had those, and I've had it now for 4 months or 5 months. I don't really remember. So I might as well. I've been paying for it. I might as well start using it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we got yeah. So we have Brick Studios is in here. So
Nice.
that's I
Hey,
think they're in
Brick.
here. That's good. Um, and then um, yeah, that's pretty much about it. For that, just um, keep trying to do this and get it so that I can get my live streaming um, going on mobily, so I can do things and especially at celebration, be able to walk around instead of recording and uploading it later, being able to go around and um, just have people say, hey, check this out, turn around, because I would have loved to have someone, I would have loved to have been able to boss somebody around before I went to celebration to check out these people, or hey, go talk to these people, or I want to look at those toys, see if they have this or that, even though you're not going to be able to buy them. Just I'm be your walking tour guide, I guess it would be. um, so I think there were some other questions earlier and I missed what most of them were because I was talking. um,
I'll see if I can go back and grab them.
what I did
Yeah,
do,
have you heard from Anthony?
he messaged me earlier that he wasn't going to be after I posted it. He posted at like 7. I was at work, but he posted at like 7 o'clock that he wasn't going to be coming on here. But he's one of the people. He's one of the reasons that I'm doing this one tonight, because he said, "Oh yeah, do it. I'll be on." He's whatever, but um, otherwise I'd be playing Fallen Order and not chatting with you guys. But this is this is the way. So that's what it is. Um, so my thoughts on the dark saber. I think that the dark saber is that they were able to bring it in is great. It was a big surprise. It opens up season 2 for so much stuff, and then which way are they going to take it? Are they going to take it focusing on they could do season 2 almost barely with the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, and go back to the history of how the dark saber came around, or what happened. Because we're going to find out. You have the Siege of Mandalore coming up in another couple months. Well, depending on when they put it in to the series. So, just finding out how did he get it, and just I don't know. There's just so much. I'm trying to think of so much. Not think of what to say, but how to have it let it all come out, because um, you know how did he get the black
I
saber?
understand.
How does it tie into um, the what we're gonna get for the Siege of Mandalore coming up? And then what happened with you know how is it going to tie into, or does it tie into Rebels at all? Which I'm sure it will, because there's no coincidences in Star Wars, and they have 15 or 20 people that sit around and all they do all day is talk Star Wars. I know that it's more involved than that, but um, you know what's gonna how is it gonna all tie in? Because it's gonna all tie in, and it's gonna drop an Easter egg like the black saber or the dark saber, and just how is it gonna tie into everything else? And then are we gonna get books and comics that go off on it? Because the books that have been coming out recently are amazing. Everybody has their favorites, and your ones that everyone always, or most people have at the top of their list, are usually about the same. But I think these ones that have been coming out, even like the most recently with like the Force Collector, that was great. And even though Lucasfilm or Disney kind of did it as a advertisement for but two some of the books that came out, or part of the books going into it, they were phenomenal. Or maybe it's just because this is the first time I've actually not been catching up on canon books, and I've been able to talk with people as I'm reading them, or as I'm binging them in one day, or whatever. So like I was for like Lost Stars, or Bloodlines, being up there on people's top of the list. I wasn't able, I read those in the past year or so, or year and a half. Um, so yeah, I just rambled on for a little while for you for that one. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Anyways, I don't know where Rural Farm Boy is. You know, he was he was around a few minutes ago, anyways. But he just you know isn't coming into the chat now. So well, we'll get him on the next one, I guess. Um, I want Baby Yoda delivered to Ahsoka. That would be good. Here's the other question too that I was trying to think of. Um, is okay. Charlie Skywalker had to step out for a minute. Maybe he'll be back. Um, that would be good if Baby Yoda went to Ahsoka, because we all know, which I was saying from the beginning. Well, the beginning when Ahsoka's voice is heard, and spoilers for everybody. This is always full of spoilers in case you don't know. Even though I'm pretty sure everyone that's talking in the chat right now has already seen The Rise of Skywalker. People were saying, "Oh, Ahsoka's dead. How could they do that?" Blah blah blah. It's like, you don't have to, just because you heard somebody's voice doesn't mean that um, she's dead. Ahsoka's not necessarily dead just because you heard her voice, and she could have been, meditating, or um, whatever it is, and Luke heard Leia's voice. Leia, they can, um, communicate like that. So that's all it really had to be. And then we get it coming out a couple days later that with the cartoon that got posted with Ahsoka and Gandalf, and Gandalf saying to Ahsoka, "Everybody thought I was dead too," or something like that, whatever it was. Hinting, well, maybe she's not dead. So it could be. Now I know this takes place afterwards, but that was just something that came up in my memory that I was going to talk about. But yeah, that would be pretty cool if Ahsoka got handed off to Baby Yoda. And what are they going to do with the baby for season 2? Are we going to have however long this runs or lasts? Are we going to have Baby Yoda the entire time in it, or at some point is Baby Yoda going to move on? How are we going to get rid of Baby Yoda without killing him? Because I don't know if it was yesterday I was talking. Oh no, I was talking with somebody today about it. I don't even know what's going on right now. So yeah, I'm sorry. I keep talking, trying to read the chat, and I getting a little sideways here. But what are they going to do with Baby Yoda? They can't kill him off. If they killed off Baby Yoda, it would piss off so many people. Like, you can't. You have to write for your fans, and make the story go for your fan. But you can't put what you think your fans are, how the reaction to things about, into your writing. You need to tell your story that you're telling, and hopefully they like it. But if they killed off Baby Yoda, there'd be so many people that didn't like Star Wars or watch Star Wars or know anything about Star Wars that are into Star Wars now, or at least into The Mandalorian, and might start watching because they want to know about the dark saber or Mandalore or whatever. And okay, I'm watching Disney Plus and I got it for my kids, or I got it to watch Disney movies. And now, oh, this new series is coming out, let's see what it is. Oh, the Clone Wars, that was great. Now I'm going to go back and watch the first 5.5 seasons or 6 seasons, whatever it is. For just the casual fan, or whatever it is. So I think it would just be so bad if they killed it off for a story wise, and your people that are only into Star Wars right now for Baby Yoda. So you need to find out what to do with Baby Yoda, and then why isn't Baby Yoda around anymore? Palpatine's dead. His body hasn't been reanimated. Because as the conversation on Jam's transmission earlier was whether or not the Emperor did this himself, brought himself back, or if it was the cult that brought him back or whatever. But for all purposes, the Emperor's not around right now, or even if he is alive or brought back to life, or healing, whatever it is, he's still out on Exegol or into the Death Star or whatever it happens to be. He's not in the picture, really. But what's going to happen to Baby Yoda? I mean, why hasn't he come back? Why don't we have adult Baby Yoda, since we still don't have his name yet? Why didn't he come to help and fight the Emperor? So, I mean, there's so many questions that they need to be answering, but being careful about it, because I just think that some of the scenarios that could play out could have ramifications that would really hurt Star Wars if they were done improperly. And I'm not talking about, like the bullshit of, Reza Palpatine or Reylos or, the other hate group that hates The Last Jedi. like ramifications with that. I'm talking about the casual fans that are just getting into Star Wars, then hating it. Because, like we were talking about the other day, the diehard fans for like box office, the diehard fans probably account for a quarter of the box office. The Star Wars fans count for the other quarter, and just moviegoers count for the other half. So you're gonna alienate. If you alienate Star Wars fans or diehards, that's going to happen no matter what you do because someone's not going to be happy. But you alienate people that aren't even Star Wars fans, you're pretty much screwed. Um, you know, so I don't really know where that is going to end up going. So, um, yeah. So I don't know. Baby Yoda could grow up in the next season and talk or join more of his species. Well, my thing was that this wasn't a real theory. This was like a holy shit. Could you imagine if this happened? Um, the Mandalorian sends Baby Yoda off to his homeland because um, the Yoda species, Yodas, aren't really that rare or whatever. It's just that they live so far out that um, they have a planet that's just full of them. And it's like Superman. They don't have superpowers because everyone has them, and whatever it is. But they come, the outer rim and the unknown regions. They're like what Star Wars has: the outer rim and the unknown regions. It's like the outer region. It's like their outer region and unknown regions. So it's like going, to the end and then the end's end. So um, the Mandalorian sends him back, and it takes him so long to get there that he turns around to come back and help out the Mandalorian. And when he comes back, it's the Rise of Skywalker, and that's how they defeat um, Palpatine. Now, I knew that wasn't really going to happen. That wasn't even like um, a serious thing. That was just like, could you imagine if that's like joking around theory? But what if that's where Baby Yoda goes, and then we have, after the Mandalorian series. Now it can still be this can still happen soon. The Mandalorian series can still be going on, but they make a Baby Yoda movie where he's a teenager and brings back all these people, or we go to Baby Yoda land, and it's all just Baby Yodas running around in Yodas and whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore because I got a little Baby Yoda crazy. Yeah, like extreme unknown regions. So yeah, like unknown regions. Um, and then uh, yeah, like the Chiss. Yeah, maybe, but like where the Chiss are in the unknown regions, like the unknown regions for the Chiss. That's where Baby Yoda's people is. Um, so I mean, that's I think one way that you can explain. Now I know a lot of people don't want Yoda and the species explained because George didn't explain it, and George always said that we were never going to find out about Yoda and the Yoda species. But Dave Filoni learned Star Wars from George Lucas, so we don't know what George Lucas told Dave Filoni about the Yoda and the Yoda species. And even though we were never going to find out about it or whatever it happens to be, Dave Filoni's got an encyclopedia in his brain of Yoda facts and species and whatever that George Lucas taught him. And he's just starting to let them come out now. And so, you never really know what's going to happen. And if you don't want to go, to like my crazy extreme thought about it, you can have, um, narrow it down a little bit and get to where you start having more of the Yoda species appear, but you don't have to, um, get as eccentric or as crazy as that was or would be. Um, Nobody likes my Baby Yoda theory. I think everybody just ran away. Um, but um, the Chiss. Well, they said that Baby Yoda has a name. We just don't know what it is yet. And is it a name that like he was given? We still don't know the backstory of Baby Yoda, or is it a name that the Mandalorian gives him? And you know, I think it was Eden said something about Baby Yoda speaking and growing up. We don't know yet. Baby Yoda could be fluent and basic and able to talk. You um, because we don't really have any canon knowledge of the Yoda species. We don't know, do all of the species that are gonna talk in basic, are they all gonna talk backwards like Yoda? Or was it when if you speak English and you learn Spanish, your verbs and nouns are reversed. So when you're trying to speak it and put a sentence together, you talk backwards, in both ways. Um, and is it going to be when Baby Yoda talks? Is Baby Yoda going to speak English or speak basic normally? Um, these are all things that I'm sure they already have the answers for, but we're going to have to see. Where the gunk is Ezra? Huh. Maybe Baby Yoda will be with Ezra, Sabine. Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways they can go right now because our Ezra and Ahsoka together. And okay, I'm trying to catch up here. Chris King says that he was confused about the Ahsoka voice. Like that was my first thought when I heard her voice, was that she's not dead. Just because you're hearing her voice, she's not dead. They can do whatever she wants. She was meditating. She's in the world between worlds. Um, there's just so many ways that they can play it going. Um, and then, I mean, it's all, complete speculation, and we don't have anything to base it on. Um, so they're just really, hopefully we get some answers, and who knows if the Clone Wars is going to give us more answers, because we could get a flash forward somewhere, or how it's going to tie in, or um, you know maybe they give us a hint in Resistance on some of these things, even though the it's not really the same timeline. It doesn't add up, but anything can really happen right now with everything they're doing and how everything's being so interwoven. Um, so if she is dead, did she become a Jedi again? I don't think she would have to become a Jedi, um, just to be a powerful Force user. She could just be a Force user and not be part of the Jedi religion or the Sith religion. or whatever you want to call it. Um, and hey, if any of you guys want to come in here and talk with me, feel free. Um, you know, I know some of you already recorded today, so you might not feel it. Chris was on last night, so he might have used up all of his speaking voice, but um, you can all come on here if you want. Let me know. I'll put the code up there again since um, any of you guys want to hop on, just click the code and we can chat. Um, the Mandalorian, it gives the mystery to viewers. Um, yeah, but it gives enough. Like I was saying earlier, it gives enough that we as like I say when people okay, here's a gonna explain something really quick. Like everybody's a Star Wars fan if they watch Star Wars. So a lot of times people talk to me about Star Wars. I'm like, oh, you're a Star Wars fan? They're like, oh my god, I love Star Wars. I can't get enough of it. And you talk to them for about 10 seconds, you realize that they've watched the movies once and that's it. So like I say that I am, and um, a lot of us that are on here, we're like the 1% of Star Wars fans, where we're gonna sit around and talk Star Wars instead of watching TV and doing whatever, and we're talking Star Wars. We'd rather do that than be with half the people, or whatever. And that's our hobby and what we like to do, and how some of us make our money. Not me, obviously, because you got to be good at what this. Well, they don't. It's not true. You don't have to be good. I can just start yelling and swearing about how much I hate Star Wars and probably get a lot more views. But that wouldn't really be fun. So, um, yeah. So like I always say, oh yeah, no, like I'm like the 1%. Like I'm like the ultra rich of Star Wars, not necessarily in knowledge, but of how much I actually like it and going around talking about it. Um, but yeah, so that's I was going to answer a question. That's how I started. But yeah, so it's like those people that are like us can watch The Mandalorian and are in on it, um, and are happy with it and get the Easter eggs, and that's great. And the casual fan can watch it without really knowing what's going on in the cities that they're going to, or when they go to Mos Eisley, and they might not know that it was where Han Solo sat, where that jack off wannabe bounty hunter was sitting. Oh, can I gonk backwards? Gonk, so that we can. And um, yeah, so like the casual fan or whatever, someone, or the person that's never watched it before and is now watching it because of Baby Yoda, and is only watching it because they saw someone at the water cooler was talking about Baby Yoda and talking about how cute it was. You have to watch it. You have to watch it. And then they watched it, and it's no reveal for them. They could give two shits that they show Baby Yoda. It's no big surprise or how cool it is or whatever. It's just some cute little puppet that they're now in love with. Um, how that all ties in. So just as long as they keep that up, I think it's gonna really go. But it's still a whole cyclical thing on what are they gonna do? How are they gonna get rid of Baby Yoda? Um, yeah. So yeah, Chris, I'm lonely, bro. It's pop on. Um, like people will have Chase Bank has their one credit card or bank card. Um, it is a Disney card. You can either get Disney princesses or Darth Vader or BB-8 or I don't know what else there is. I'm gonna leave the screen for a second, but I'm still here, so I'm just gonna keep talking. So you can get all that shit, and I can't tell you how many people have Darth Vader cards. And I'll be like, and I'll see him, or I'll be like, oh, you a Star Wars fan? And I'd say 9 out of 10 um, don't care about Star Wars at all. They just didn't want a Disney princess card because those were their two options, and they chose Darth Vader because he's cooler than Disney princesses. Um, and then just a lot of other people don't have. Oh, sorry, Poochie. I just woke up my dog trying to get the remote so I can at least turn on the TV for this. But they don't even care anything. So like going back to the fans, and if you're a fan or not, it's like you'd think if you have a Darth Vader credit card, you'd be a Star Wars fan, but you're not. That was just better than princesses. So um, um, hey Nick, thanks for joining us. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, all right, where do you guys think it's going to go? Getting rid of um, Baby Yoda. How are they going to get rid of Baby Yoda? And yeah, how are they going to get rid of Baby Yoda? Are they going to kill Baby Yoda off, or are they going to send Baby Yoda to live with someone, whether it be Ahsoka or Ezra, or back to his own planet? If we find out what that is, do we find out um what happens with Baby Yoda, like with the species, the planet that he's from, or do they just leave it as? I'm just trying to find the um ball drop here, but I don't even know where I'm looking. Which what channel is everybody watching for the ball drop? I got New Year's Eve live with I forget what his name is. The guy that announced Miss America wrong. But anyways, all right. Oh, Fox News, or not Fox News. Fox has it on NBC. There's nothing on NBC. CBS is showing us in Dubai. I think that was a while ago though, so I don't really know why they're showing us that now. And I can't get ABC on my antenna without getting up and moving it around, and I don't feel like doing that now. So we're gonna watch Fox and Steve Harvey. That's his name. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't even looking. Mr. Rez just put it on there. Yeah, he's doing my Fox broadcast. But okay, while I was rambling on. Oh, Metal Bando's in the house. Yeah. I mean, there was really no excuse to not be on the 7:30 show for Jam Transmissions. I mean, I was at work and I still rebelled to get on. And the Village People are on Fox, whatever channel that is for you. And so that was kind of weird. But anyways, so okay, let's see. Josh was watching NBC. Chris King's watching CNN. I mean, the regular news is on right now on CBS and NBC for me right now. So the Village People, I don't really know. I don't think it's the original Village People, but I could be wrong because some of them look kind of fat. But anyways, all right, let's get back to some Star Wars. How do people join with StreamYard? How does it work? So, all right, I usually don't post this in here, even though I did today a couple times, because of trolls, which I usually don't get any. When I was having my issues with that hate group, I had some trolls in here, but most of them have been banned by Mr. Rez and Rural Farm Boy. So the way StreamYard works is normally if I'd invite you on, I just go and I send you this link that I'm posting right here. So you click on the link and I think Mr. Rez just deleted my link, so you can't get on. I'm not sure. I'm going to post it. Oh, wait, I don't know what's going on. Oh, no, there it is. Something weird just happened. It just bumped me up. So you click on the link, and when you click on the link, it is going to bring you to StreamYard, and then you just type in whatever name you want to show up on StreamYard. Oh, that's just for YouTube? Well, then. Okay. All right. Just kidding. This link right here. You click on that, and it brings you to a screen, I think, and you type in your name or whatever name you want to appear. And you do that, and then you go to click on something for broadcast or go live, and then you pop up on my screen. And if I want you to be on with me, I click you in. I think that's pretty much it. So, okay, here we go. We have Pete from Jan Transmissions. How you doing?
Doing good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I, just coming home, doing a little bit of last minute, last of the year. Going to be able to say that I had, on the East Coast, the last podcast of 2019.
Glad to be a part of it, man.
Or YouTube channel, whatever it is. And so, it's officially, I'll have the last one and the first one because it will still be going on. And we just got loaded. We're getting loaded.
There he is. That's the man. Oh, and we got we got a big crew going.
Yeah, I think so. This is why it's really cool, because like one of my things I was trying to do was a couple months ago. So I was like, I want to start doing YouTube again, but I was like, I want to do a chat because I was at a bar I used to hang out at when I used to drink, and I was hanging out with my buddies, and they were like, and one of my friends, I never knew he was a big Star Wars fan, and he never knew that I was a big Star Wars fan. And it was like, it was just so weird. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to have some place where I can just talk about Star Wars with people. And But with OBS, it's such a pain in the ass to get people in and Skype them in, and it's like people feel obligated to,
Yeah, it is.
like, okay, oh, you're doing a show, okay, how long is your show? What time do I start? What time does it end? And everything. Where it's like this, it's perfect because people pop in and out. My show is supposed to be about an hour, hour and a half. I don't think I've had one less than 2.5 hours. And like last night, after an hour and a half, I was like, all right, you guys, I'm going to go, whatever. And I think it ended up being 3.5 hours. Because like right when I was getting ready to go, Chris hopped on, and then Chris and I talked for another 10 or 15 minutes. So it's really like if you were at a bar and I'm out stopping at the bar for an hour and you end up being there for 3 hours. And, the perfect thing was the reason I stopped doing it last night was because my girlfriend came home and she's like, get off the computer. And I was like, okay. So it's like I really was at the bar, and she's like, you need to come home now. Leave your friends alone and whatever.
By the way, that is liable to happen to me any second now. My entire family is still awake.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's
just throwing that warning out there.
And then if
hey, does that sound okay?
Sound good, buddy.
Thanks. Sorry.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, Mike.
Oh, no worries. That was, that's so. I mean, that's where the whole premise came from. And then, the guys from Blue Bantha Milk sent me this link to StreamYard, and I was looking at it. I was like, I don't really like this. I don't like it. Whatever it is. And then I saw someone else was using StreamYard, and I was like, oh, I wonder how it works. And they were doing the same thing where, there was people coming in and out, and I was like, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. So, it's great. It works. It's free. Except on Pete's head, there's a duck right now or whatever it is.
Just to the side of it.
Yeah,
now it is.
Now it's like a nose piercing, but and it's like, because I was doing the advent calendar, I didn't realize that it used to be unlimited, and now sometime they changed it to you can't do more than 20 hours of streaming a month.
What?
Which is that's kind of a lot of streaming. But I was doing the advent calendar, so sometimes it would be 15 minutes long, and then I would edit it down because I'm just recording by myself and I wouldn't know what I was doing, or I'd get up and walk away or something like that. I didn't realize I was wasting all that time. But yeah, so. But it's like, so for $20 a month, I can get rid of that. And actually, like, I think there's some other YouTube channels out there that use it because I can do a background. So, like, if I go like this, where you can see the black lines in between, there's a background for it. Or if there's only 3 of us or, something like that, you get like
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And there's more stuff, too, that I haven't figured out what they are. On there because I haven't, but yeah, so that's pretty much what it was. But
hey, so Michael, I just want real quick. I wanted to get on here for one reason. I wanted to say Baby Yoda's definitely gonna die. Baby Yoda's gonna die.
Oh, this guy.
What?
Oh wow,
is that a big deal?
And Eden's about to be on here in 5, 4, 3, 2.
No, I'm just kidding. For real, that is not something Disney's going to do.
Yeah,
it won't ever happen.
I don't.
I'd be completely shocked.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. It would just be, it would be too much of a, like I was saying. It would upset, if you piss off Star Wars fans are going to get over it. They can deal with it. It's not that big of a deal. They'll come around. There'll be something else that they end up liking. Just like the people that hate The Last Jedi love the new movie for the most part. Vice versa, whatever, or the one. Whatever it is, there'll be something else that comes out that you're going to like. People that don't like Star Wars, you're going to force them to not like Star Wars automatically if you do something like that.
Baby Yoda was literally the cultural event of the year, for sure.
Oh, no doubt. I think it would be too divisive, man. Like, you kill Baby Yoda? Come on.
No way.
What do you think, Josh? They gonna kill Baby Yoda or what?
No, they can't kill my baby. That's not going to happen. I think the best move would just kind of make him be like just like an Ezra or whatever. He'll disappear, and that'll be just the end of it. Where's my ceiling, guys?
Lovely.
I did get
Sorry,
the feeling
I had to open.
So during the season, you got the feeling that Baby Yoda was just kind of in the way. So we would just stash him in this closet and then go off and do an adventure just for the sake of having an interesting episode. And I that's what it felt like to me. So they got to figure out something.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. I'd like to see maybe a time skip, just a little bit of one, in the next season. My hair is really flat from that beanie from our show. Duck. I would like to see something further on with, especially with the Mando and getting more of that relationship built. That'd be awesome. But shit, who knows? I mean, sorry, Gonk. Maybe later on we'll find out. Who knows? I mean, it could be just like season 2, episode 1 is 5 minutes after Gideon cuts himself out.
I was reading this article today. It was very vague about how there's going to be more characters that we know in season 2. And then so 1,000 clickbait articles pops up that says,
right,
Darth Vader is going to appear in season 2 of Mandalorian. So who do we think that's going to be?
Oh, Darth Maul. That was the one that I saw.
Yeah, Darth Maul. Yep.
One of the clickbait sites that always has something was Darth Maul's going to appear, and it's like, well, I mean, how would they rewrite that again? For even if that was to be true, like, could they even rewrite that his third death or whatever it is?
Got my buddy here.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going, buddy?
So is he a big Star Wars fan?
No. I don't know what I did wrong. Hey,
I give his dad some time. He will be.
Come here. Come here.
How's it going, buddy?
Want to know if you're a big.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, Parker.
Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Parker. Happy New Year, almost.
Hey, Parker.
See this guy right here in the bottom? He's the one that calls in with all the crazy stuff. That's Pete. This is Michael.
Hey.
Hi, Pete.
Boo-boo.
What's your son's name, Chris?
Parker.
Cohen.
What?
Come here.
Cohen?
Cohen.
You can't
Cohen.
hear because I've got these things in.
What do you have to do that?
Oh, I'm just talking to these guys. You can go back to watch your movie.
Someone like for like if you put me like this, I feel like something.
Mike's got his.
There's Pete's son, Lion. Wave and go. Go on.
Hi, everybody.
The dog.
We're showing our pets off.
Yep.
Yeah, here's another one. Wait, there it is.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah, it's 4 of them. Good job. Right.
So you were talking about a third death of Darth Maul?
So Darth Maul died once. And Phantom Menace.
Right.
And then he comes back and Obi-Wan kills him again. So if he was to, how would Disney write it off that, or write it in that he comes back after that?
This sounds like something I would come up with.
Yeah, it does.
So Chris, that's a crazy Chris idea.
Insane in the membrane.
So how would that work? I don't think they could write him back. And if they are going to write him back in, wouldn't they wait until the Kenobi series? or are they going to have Darth Maul back and we watch Kenobi kill him in real life, and the fight's just a little bit different?
That won't happen. None of that.
That kind of jumped. Well, it depends on when they do the Kenobi series and when it takes place. The Kenobi series could take place from the time he lands on Tatooine, till the time Luke meets him for the first time or actually knows that he's Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Jedi.
Right.
I mean, it could take place over 20 years, or it could go flashbacks, and we could get ties into the Mandalorian lore and him being in love with Mandalorians, something along those lines. So that's another tie-in that we might not get answers about the Black Saber until later on. And however craziness Disney wants to work out. Oh, and we got more coming.
All right.
Is that Jeff?
Oh, the
All right.
middle
There he is.
window. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, what's up, dudes?
Hey, buddy.
Can you hear me
Welcome.
Hear you good,
Oh, yeah.
buddy.
okay? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Had to do this, man. Had to.
Yeah, dude. Everybody's got to do it every Monday night, except for today's Tuesday. But same thing. Every Monday at 8:30.
So that's great.
This is my first time doing this kind of thing, man.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, we were Kentucky strong here for a while too, so it's good to get a little diversity.
So
Hey,
happy
man.
New Year's, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Everybody,
I
cheers.
got some Stella and the last of some Chardonnay going on here too.
Oh,
So we got all kinds of stuff.
Everybody's got stuff. Chris, what are you sipping on?
Oh,
Newcastle. All right.
Chris, I like that Newcastle, buddy. My mother's
Yeah.
English.
Nice.
There you go.
I've
Cheers.
got a Blue Moon. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. So what do you think about
What are
all
you
the
drinking,
stuff
Jim?
we've been talking about, Metal Mando?
I'm doing the Stella, man, and my wife's excess Chardonnay because she already passed out. So what was that?
Nice.
I was just wanting to know what you think about all the things we've been talking about, Jeff.
With all the talk we have been doing about Mandalorian and just crazy speculation and how it's going to tie into every other aspect, because there's going to be at least Easter eggs or something to tie into. We're going to get ties into the Darksaber with the Clone Wars now, probably.
Stop.
So how is it going to tie into everything else?
What? I have a crazy delay going on with everything, but what is Josh laughing at so hard?
I'm loving
Chris.
it, Chris.
Chris King, we're over here. Pay attention, okay? He doesn't have matches. He doesn't have matches or a hammer. He doesn't have the cat.
He's got scissors.
Oh, he's got scissors?
Stop.
Well,
It'll be fine.
they should be safety scissors. So,
They're not.
Doesn't have buttons to push on Starship.
Yeah, he's good to go. No light speed here.
So, all right, Jeff. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the tie-ins with the Mando and the Darksaber and what's going to happen with that?
Yeah, it's a big deal. I didn't think I was going to see that at the end of this episode. I'm really, the thing that just really blows me away is that the Mandalorian has to actually consider Moff Gideon the Mandalore, as being the
Right.
Mandalore, being the ruler of all of Mandalore. So how is that going to play out? That is my number one question, and just the thing I'm blown away about. Is he going to submit to him, or how is that going to play out?
No way. Yeah.
No way.
I need the
No,
scissors.
no.
I need them.
Oh, I just figured out how to do something.
Ha!
Oh, all right.
Oh, neat.
Oh, I never knew how to do that before until right now. See,
Uh-oh.
Jeff comes on and the Metal Mando teaches us how to do it for his first time.
Do what?
I put you on solo, so you were on by yourself for your screen. But
I'm holding a friggin' phone. Sorry, guys.
oh, that's we had that's the whole thing about this. It's just where some people get
the
some
really
people
weird
get
thing
really
is I'm hearing myself talk, and I hear myself like about 5 words later, and I'm talking but still talking.
Welcome to podcasting.
yeah, you need to it's something with I don't know your computer, the volume on your computer, or if you have if you're watching through StreamYard and you have YouTube on at the same time.
Right, that's probably it.
Mr. Rez says mute YouTube.
Right.
Yep.
Mr. Rez would know because I honestly don't. People ask me questions and I don't know. I invite them onto StreamYard and that's as much as I really know. I don't know how to.
Yeah, because I'm like 10 Stellas in, and this is kind of really screwing with me right now.
Only 10? Only 10?
Well,
Slow night.
pretty well admit how many, but
That's as
It's
many
a good
fingers
number.
as he
It's a
had,
good
so
number.
he
Hey,
stopped
so you
counting.
guys, so talk me through the dark saber. Because I'm still really confused, and I was trying to like explain to my family that had no idea what it was, and then I was confusing myself as I went through. So I think where I'm getting confused is I assumed that Moff Gideon took the dark saber during the Siege of Mandalore, but that's not going to be possible, right?
Right, because
No, because
Bo-Katan
that
has
happened
it.
way before. Bo-Katan. So he must have he had to have either killed her or
Probably,
something.
honestly.
And
Or
that's
stole it.
hateful, but yeah. I mean, like the only way that she could be alive is if he stole it, if she dropped it and he grabbed it.
Yeah.
But honestly, she was the last known owner that we know of, and
Did it go any?
that's it.
Did it pass on to somebody else
All right.
Could have.
or somebody of weaker
So
character?
during the Siege of Mandalore, who had it? Who had it then?
hey guys, I apologize because I'm hearing a lot of echoes and delays, but did everybody think that the armor might have been Bo-Katan? I never really did because on her helmet, it kind of looks like she's with the horns, kind of like a Zabrak kind of style, not the Darth Maul edition of a Zabrak, but there's another species of a Zabrak that kind of has those little less horns, and maybe they formed her helmet to kind of cover those up.
You mean the armorer, the one that's making the armor? Oh, hey, Chris, don't talk right now.
I mean,
Oh,
Smart.
yeah, because
Taking me off here.
Still can't hear
they're saying,
me.
"Hey, how you doing?"
Hi, I love you guys. Hello, goodbye. I can't hear anything because it's in there.
Yeah.
Well, you can share.
Here, say hi.
Oh, ow.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
What's up?
I'm good. I mean,
Hey.
I'm drunk. Hi, guys. How's it going?
Oh, hi.
I saw you like 30 minutes ago, maybe an hour by now. About an hour.
We're talking about how the dark saber could have come into Moff Gideon's hands through via Bo-Katan. Is she dead or not?
I mean, I have so many swear words about Moff Gideon. There's so many terrible things that he's done. I'm not
You're allowed
surprised
to.
that he has
You're
it.
allowed to use them on here.
I'm not surprised, but I mean, he has obviously just destroyed any opposition and just completely fucked it up. And he gets what he wants. He has that shit. Like, yeah, probably Bo-Katan's dead. Probably he cut her head off.
And Jeff just said, what if Bo-Katan was the armorer.
Oh my.
No.
The
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
That is a hot
Crazy.
take. That is really that is a good take. That is a yes. I like that idea.
and now, so I mean, that just changes out the whole scenario to now. She's going to be in the forerunning because we didn't see her die. Even though even though she's dead, but we didn't see her die, so she's not really dead.
Right.
That now it ends up that she takes off the helmet at some point in time, because this is the way came about after
Will she though?
she lost the Darksaber,
Yes.
however it was. That's why it's the Siege of Mandalore happens. They're pretty much demolished. The Mandalorians are demolished, and she loses the black saber to however Moff Gideon gets it.
And they have to kind of reinvent their creed. Like they have to become more unique, more powerful, more secretive, and more Mandalorian. And so they have the creed. They don't take off the helmets. This is the way.
But now to reveal to us watching the show that it's her, she takes off her helmet to Moff Gideon, to reveal that it's her, and we're to say everybody else, we don't need to hide anymore. We're Mandalorians, and she takes back the Darksaber and shoves it up his ass, and then
that would be amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a job at Lucasfilm, and I will credit Jeff with the idea, and I'll see you guys later. Never. All right. So Jeff, are you still echoing down there?
Yeah, but Michael, I think you might have not understood exactly what I was saying. I wanted that to be Bo-Katan, but I think that character is actually a Zabrak, like the Darth Maul species. If you remember in Death Watch, when in the Clone Wars, Darth Maul, like some of those Mandalorians kind of had the helmets with the horns,
right.
And I'm not sure exactly what was going on there, but the way her helmet is, she has those 3 or 4 horns in front, which might mean one of those Zabrak species.
Or it could be a crown.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even know yet what the different helmets mean. Does her helmet have horns?
Mike, now you just blow my mind. She might have.
Does she have horns? That's why her helmet has horns, or is it a different designation of, they were different sects or houses had different,
Is the helmet her signet?
Right. What if she killed Darth Maul in one of his many lives when he came back, and bye Josh,
Bye.
Bye Pete.
Oh. I'm here.
What if that, what if she kills one of that species, and that's why she has the helmet now, because that is her signet. Instead of having a shoulder plate, she's got a helmet. I mean,
I like that idea of her having that signet for killing a Zabrak, especially if it was a very difficult Zabrak to kill.
Jazz, wasn't she Zabrak?
She was.
Jazz from Aftermath?
Was it who?
But Aftermath was going on about the same time as this, though, right?
It was, the Aftermath was happening right after the fall of the initial fall of the Empire.
Battle
so
of
yeah.
So yeah, that takes place right after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
How long does it go on for though? I haven't read Aftermath, and I read it once, the series.
Now that I don't know.
I mean, because it goes on for, well, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it goes on until like the Rise of Skywalker, pretty much. If you're going to go into
Obi-Wan killed Maul and Rebels, maybe it could have been her.
what was that? If Obi-Wan didn't kill her or kill him?
She could have helped dethrone Maul on Mandalore, so she got those. That's very possible.
You know, if he could change canon, maybe in where Obi-Wan didn't actually kill Maul and Tatooine, where it actually would have been Bo-Katan, and then she took that helmet as her signet, or.
Here, Parker. Take it around.
So you think that, or like a scenario you're going with is how
Don't, you can watch it.
Just changing canon, like maybe something I would have wanted to have seen, maybe more than what happened in Rebels. Who knows?
I think everyone wanted more than what happened in Rebels, but you know, the one thing is Obi-Wan learned from his first fight with Maul, where Maul hasn't learned anything on becoming better at, you know, fighting with the lightsaber and the Force. His whole purpose was just to go and kill and find Obi-Wan. So the moves that Maul uses in Rebels are the exact same moves he uses when he fights Obi-Wan. So that's how Obi-Wan was able to defeat him so easily.
I loved it because it was a very good throwback to the original inspiration George had for the Kurosawa films. I don't know, man. I'd hate for him to change it, honestly.
Seven Samurai.
Yes.
Oh,
Sarah,
for sure.
get the vacuum cleaner out of here.
I hope we see it again. I hope we see it in live action.
I'd love that.
Redo it.
This is where I hate where Josh chimes in, because I think on Star Wars is a simple level, but you got to go ahead and blow my mind with this deep ass shit, man.
This is what I do, Jeff. This is why we're here.
This is the way.
This is the way.
All right, we got 9 minutes till the Death Star blows up, guys.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yep.
That's fast.
So none of you guys have this queued up on your DVRs, man? Really?
No. Dude, I've seen so many, it's really not that big of a deal anymore.
8:46 left.
Honestly,
before the ball
this is a better
drops.
tradition.
I don't know if I have any other channels that I can get it on right now, because I think it's LL Cool J just come out with a new album or something, because I think that's him.
Boy, I hope so. Boy, I hope so. Let me tell you guys, I couldn't imagine a better way to ring in the new year than with you peeps. Like, honestly, like, you guys make my Star Wars year so special. And I mean, there are so many more people involved. I mean, you know, all of us have people in the Star Wars community that every single day make Star Wars really special to us. And we got to throw out the name Rick Villanueva.
Yep.
We need to throw out the name Anthony, the rural farm boy. I mean, like, who's special to you guys? Yeah, well, he's right here. He's right here.
And Jeff, of course, with the big long ass voicemails that are awesome.
You know, we recorded episode
Michael.
58 today, man. Yeah, and Mike Condon, man. And like I got to tell you guys, I'm so thankful to be able to spend the tail end of 2019 right here, right now. It's an honor. Thank you to Michael Condon, TooMedtoo, for allowing us all to be here today. So, as we close into midnight, what's all y'all's favorite things at the very end of this year? What's the favorite? What is the best part of this year?
I mean, I would just, if it wasn't, if it wasn't for you guys and everybody and the community, Star Wars community, and we all have different Star Wars communities that overlap somehow, or whatever ways. I'd probably be sitting here by myself watching TV or watching some Star Wars, because by the time I got out of work and got ready, or got this ready, I came home and walked my dog, and it was 10:30. New York City, there's nothing I can do. I'm not going to be able to get a cab to go anywhere, and if I do, it's going to be Uber. It's going to be like five times as much. So to go 1 or 2 miles is going to cost me $20 or $30. I can't go into Manhattan because all the streets are blocked off. I wouldn't want to go to Times Square because it's like picture if you had the chance to go to hell or not. Like, that's pretty much Times Square. All the time, especially when you live in New York. Like whenever people come to visit, it's like, oh, what do you want to know? Like, do you want to do stupid New York people shit? It's like, okay, or visit. It's like that's going Times Square. That's going like all these the places where that you just I would have gone to visit my girlfriend at work, but they blocked off her streets at 10 o'clock this morning. And
Wow.
so she had people calling her at 10:30 this morning saying, we can't get to work. What do we do? And she's like, I don't know. Like, I'm not there. They told us you could get in. So, she's calling to try and find out what they can do, and talking, with other managers and owners, and trying to figure stuff out. It's just like, 10 o'clock in the morning, there's no way I'm getting there. So, I'm spending I chose to spend it with you guys instead of.
Here we are, buddy.
Yeah.
Happy to spend it with you. What about you, Chris? What you up to?
Trying to keep his kid from killing himself with scissors.
I think he's okay. I think he survived.
Cool.
Happy to spend it with you too, buddy. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
well, I have two things to say really quick. There's been a few other podcasts I've left message with, and but I must admit, in the last year, you guys have been my number one highlight as far as Star Wars and Star Wars fandom is concerned, because I've mentioned it before, where Pete, Josh, and Eden, it's like I can be myself around you guys, man. I can
always.
It's kind of hard sometimes, like the things I like. I know you guys like heavy metal like I do, and I'm as much as Star Wars, and I love being able to leave voice messages where I can just dork out and be myself, and I really appreciate that, because you will play any voice message I leave, especially the last one, Josh, where I guess I might have gonked the hell out of that one, but
I think you beat Alice.
And my number two by far, and me and my wife debated this tonight, is whether if you could choose to watch the sequel trilogy or the first episode, or I'm sorry, the first season of Mandalorian and the upcoming seasons of Mandalorian, which would you choose to be able to watch, or and have to eliminate one to ever watch? Ever, like that desert island question I've always proposed to you guys before, actually. And I chose The Mandalorian over the sequel trilogy. I think that thing just kicks fucking ass, man. It's everything I've always wanted in Star Wars, and that was my second greatest gift as far as Star Wars is concerned for me this year.
Oh yeah, we love it here. My son watches it like all the time. He's 6. I put it on, dude. Even when I'm bored, like it's been amazing. I think it's probably one of the best things that's Star Wars. I don't know, dude. There's that's a really crappy, tough question. Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah,
Man.
that's
You know,
that's
I
like
love Last
that's like
Jedi.
saying you have to rate the movies, and whatever's in your bottom half you have to get rid of it. It's like, you know, I might not like Attack of the Clones that much, but I still want to watch it sometimes. You know,
Right.
not enough Jedi in Mandalorian for me.
Oh yeah.
2
They're
minutes.
pretty much all dead.
That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is
The
the
Jedi.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
pretty
what about
cool. I
seeing
mean,
that dark saber? Did that dark saber at least do it for you? No,
yeah, I mean,
no Jedi, but you got
don't get me
a
wrong.
lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, don't get
That's
me wrong.
awesome.
I love it. It's Star Wars. I love it. It's awesome. I don't know. It's just something about it. It's really the. I don't really. It seems like the Jedi are the heroes in the Star Wars galaxy, and everyone else just fits in different places. And I've always been. My thing has always been the good guys versus the bad guys. And that's the reason, really.
Well, now
Very
you
black and
have the lines are blurred with the Mandalorian because, you know, who the good guys are, you know who the bad guys are, but the bad guys the good guys were bad guys at one point in time. You know, and now they're not as bad as the bad guys, so they become the good guys, and it's just kind of like,
Hey guys, I love Jedi and I love bad guys. I need to intervene right here.
yes,
What could it be?
Man, there's like
The
I was gonna
suspense.
watch a Death Star blow up, but hey, man, I guess a better alternative and a much better alternative is to spend it with you four bros, man. To ring in the new year. So
There you go.
it's coming up any second here now, man.
All right, who's gonna count down? I'm not watching.
I'm
not
watching.
either.
Oh, it's like 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
New
3,
York.
2, 1. Happy New Year!
Happy New
Happy New
Year!
Year.
Happy New Year.
And there's people making out all over. Oh, the baby woke up. Oh, hi. Woo! Cheers, everybody.
I just made out with that
Cheers.
glass.
That's
Yeah.
I
kind
have
of
2
weird.
empty
but okay.
glasses, but hey, man.
Twinkle.
Yeah, Jeff, I couldn't agree more, man. I couldn't imagine spending it any other way. Like, honestly, this is great. This is great.
It's a good start.
I actually had no idea this is where I would be at midnight tonight.
Yeah.
I had never been on one of these YouTube chats, so
Well, now you are. And everybody that's on here right now has an open invitation. Whenever I'm on, you can come on. Just let me know. Just hop in the chat and tell me to send you the code, and I'll send it to you. And
Oh, yeah.
Guys,
You know,
we're starting in a new decade.
see,
Already.
all right. Now here's the debate: is it a new decade? The new decade doesn't start till 2021.
What?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Why?
a decade's 10 years.
you're
But-
being difficult now, man.
But
Yeah,
if you're
he's
going
being
by-
difficult.
if you're going by-
You know what? You're difficult. You're a
Depends
difficult
on how it
man.
starts.
Well, I could be. But I mean, a decade's 10 years.
Technically,
I need
yeah.
10 years.
This is the
But
10th
if
year.
you're going by a calendar year,
That's why Zori Bliss doesn't like you.
Don't
oh
get
no,
started.
she does.
How are we ringing in the new year with that?
I'm a difficult man, and that's why I'm so desirable. But no, so like,
I actually thought Chris was speaking there.
Yeah,
so like you would. I think we had this conversation last night too, but yeah. So like, if you start like, okay, we're gonna start. You know, it's our anniversary. Like, you don't start at 0. You start. You know, the first one is 1, and then we've been together for 1 year. You don't say that. You know, so it's the past year you've been together. So you don't say like, oh, or you know, the calendar. You rewrite the calendar. You don't start at year 0. You start at year 1. Kind of like the the millennium didn't start until 2001. It didn't start in 2000. But
Okay. You start.
It's all true from a certain point of view.
oh,
Thank you.
speaking. All right, that brings up another question.
That's fine.
That brings up something else now.
Hey
Project
guys,
Luminous.
are we gonna be here for a while? Because if so, I gotta go pour me another drink, man.
Go pour yourself another drink. We never know how long we're gonna be.
Oh man, me too.
Stare at your wall.
Yeah, man, me too.
Nothing.
Be right back.
Okay, so Project Luminous. Holy those are loud fireworks. No, like there's nothing around me to have fireworks right now, and like those were like bombs. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not because it's.
They're going around outside my door.
But they're like bombs exploding, not
like a little firecracker. Wow, that is loud.
I mean, that's my dog, but I don't know if you heard those booms. So somebody's moving away.
You need to go check on things.
Oh no, I just gotta check on my dog to get her to stop.
Infrastructure is still intact.
Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Shh.
Well, this got exciting.
Oh, so, yeah. Happy New Year. We're blowing things up.
All right, now see those are like fireworks, like that somebody's got. But come on, cut out, come on.
Good God.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys heard those or not, but they're like it's like cannon fodder over here. And she's
only because I've got headphones in. I've got them going off crazy here.
Okay. So yeah. Anyways, Project Luminous. What do we think Project Luminous is going to be?
Dude, we talked about that on a show or a couple of shows ago. You know,
it's okay. It's okay.
Speculation with like Jana and Finn being force sensitive. Would that have kind of bled over to getting new troopers or like a new battalion or squadron of like somewhat force sensitive troops in the First Order? I mean, they were trying to gather those children anyway.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Like the original Hux was going on heading that up. Brindle, right? Was it Brindle Hux? Is that his name? I mean, I wouldn't see why that wouldn't be also another objective for the First Order. If they could brainwash someone with that kind of, I don't know, ability. And then finding out Snoke's a puppet, why not? You know, if Palpatine's pulling those strings. Brings new meaning to the Sith Trooper. Nice sweater, Jeff.
Oh,
there we go.
Delilah.
Nice.
Okay. Shh.
All right, guys. I changed into more appropriate attire. I don't know if you've seen my here we go.
Look at you.
My holiday Mando sweater I got this year for myself. My Christmas gift to myself.
Good night.
Looking good, buddy. So I haven't been able to see the chat room for a while. Like, is anybody asking any questions, or what do we got?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything either.
I don't see anything.
Let's see what I can figure out here.
Could you open up YouTube in another window?
That's what I'm
doing.
On
my phone, or I would. I wonder what I've got for battery.
I think we might be the only Star Wars dorks on a live chat at midnight on New Year's Eve.
Who cares? They're missing out. Michael asked, "What's Project Luminous?" what kind of what we
Good
think that
question.
is. I talked about the Finn and Jana thing. Remember, Pete, what we discussed about that? Or if you
Yeah.
don't, go off the cuff and tell us what you think. Good night.
Project Luminous. I am kind of along the lines that it would be really interesting if they examined the entire squadron of stormtroopers who decided to lay down their guns.
Yes.
But I'm also kind of interested, like, what about Finn? Like, did he just have like a whole bunch of other people that decided not to put down their guns and still had feelings, or that the other people around him in his squadron didn't have those feelings? It's all very interesting. That's something I've been thinking about since TROS. What about you guys?
I'm blacking out. I'll be able to hear you. I'm just gonna go tinkle.
Okay. All right.
Hey
What do you
guys,
guys think?
just a real quick question. I have a really horrible delay. Like I said, about 30 seconds after I say something, then I hear myself. What did you say that might help that?
Do you have YouTube open in another channel or another tab in your browser? Because if you do, you can either mute that or turn it off. Welcome back, Chris.
Yeah, okay. I just closed all my tabs. Everybody hear me like right now?
I can hear you right now. Can you hear us right now?
Yeah, so that helped. Thank you very much.
Awesome, buddy.
Nice.
Awesome.
That was killing me the whole time, man. I'm like just struggling, man.
Awesome.
All right.
So
cool.
what do you guys think about that? As far as what do you think, Michael? Like, as far as all the people, as far as Project Luminous, the people that were in Jana's group, they all put down their firearms all at the same time. What about Finn? Do you
Over
think
an
all
instinct.
Yeah, what about Finn, though? Do you think he was the only one? Do you think that's just kind of a lucky choice for him? Or do you think, like all the other people in his group, just ignored that instinct? Like, what's up there? What do you guys think all around?
Okay, so what do you think luminous actually means in the Star Wars realm as a whole? Like, what is your take on the word luminous to you, Pete?
To me, I think that luminous, it can either be a code name for a project that has nothing to do with the word luminous, or it could be about the light side of the Force, shining light upon whatever, like, which would explain that, like, there's going to be more darkness, like a shadow project name someday. But
Or
I don't know.
Okay, because you kind of shed a new light on what I thought might be the meaning of luminous when you said about John and the stormtroopers, how they might be part of the whole luminous beings, even Yoda species, just which I thought was kind of because Yoda, he's the first one to make the the word luminous kind of famous in Star Wars lore canon or whatever, as far as a quote. And so I was always thinking that, the Yoda kind of thing going on, maybe like the backstory of Yoda, but there's a lot of authors, I think, involved, right? So maybe there's different stories of luminous beings that have that, the feeling, as, Finn said, as being luminous.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
it's really
out of nowhere, they got this sound, and then they just laid everything down. That's exactly what happened. Are we on the same page, Chris? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, man. I think that the next story to be told, I mean, like the movie just straight up laid it out, man. Lando sitting next to Jana. Where are you from, Jana or General?
Yeah.
General. Where are you from? And I
I
haven't
like
got
that, General.
I haven't got my hands on the visual dictionary yet, but I have heard that the visual dictionary says that Lando decided to settle down and start a family, and that family, the child got taken away. That he had a child and it was
Jenna.
taken away, and that's the end result. Josh, is that Janna was that child taken away by the First Order, and that would be really interesting. And I think that Project Luminous, which is going to be coming out soon, would be a perfect opportunity to explore all of those storylines.
Gotta be
What do you
awesome.
guys think?
Hey, one thing I wanted to mention is, like, a lot of things are kind of on point as far as fan things fans want to see in the new movie, and they didn't want to probably go as far as saying that Jana was the Jana or Jana,
Jenna.
being Lando's daughter, but maybe that can be explored, like you said, in further, books, comics, whatever it may be, is that maybe being the case. But maybe they just didn't want to go there, and take, things we love as fans too far. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
that could definitely be something, that could happen in the future. Yeah, like you said, that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
I'll tell you, just backpedal a little bit. Finn being force sensitive is one of my least favorite parts. And really the reason is because episode 8 clearly abandoned that. Even if they were alluding to it in Force Awakens, it was not a thing in Last Jedi. And so I just thought, if that's the direction that Ryan was going to take it, JJ shouldn't have backpedaled, because it's just confusing and it's not consistent. And so that bothered me. But I mean, you make some good points. That would make complete sense if that's what the Luminous meant. Just the force sensitive, not Jedi type, but just exploring that type of force user. Yes.
I mean, could Broom Boy at the end of The Last Jedi be brought into this whole Luminous situation?
Possibly, yeah.
It depends if he's a good guy or not. Like he may be a complete little bastard.
Did you really have to put that image in my brain, Pete? God damn it!
He could be a little dick, man. He could be an asshole. What do you think about all this, Josh?
What now?
What did he do with that broom, Jeff?
He made it look like a lifesaver. Damn it! Come on.
He turned around and shoved it up that shopmaster's. May the force be with you.
So what do you think, Josh, about all this Luminous being stuff?
I like it. I'm with Chris, because in The Last Jedi, it wasn't really a thing for Finn. But here we have The Rise of Skywalker, and it's pretty much been spelled out for us that what Finn wanted to tell her was that he's force sensitive. And then you've got this whole squadron of this instinct that they feel, a feeling, and there's a connection between him and Janna, whether you like it or not. It's there. There's something that's been alluded to already. It wouldn't surprise me if there's something going on where, okay, maybe they're not like moving things with their mind or whatever, but Jared Imwe could not utilize the Force, but he knew everything about it. And same with Maz. We're getting a lot of this on the spectrum kind of characters. So it would make sense to me if they would include those in the story, like having Janna's squad and Finn being part of that dialect, as far as, okay, you can, what the Force is, you can feel it, but you can't reciprocate that feeling into movement, into something physical, being able to move a broom, and then he wielded a lightsaber pretty proficiently. I mean, although, yeah, he's a trained warrior, he still was able to do, and we saw Sabine, who was a Mandalorian, have issues with Kanan's lightsaber and the dark saber. It's heavier than I thought, and it's unwieldy. She had issues. But Finn, out of friggin' nowhere, grabs it up and honestly held his own against Kylo there for a little while.
And he killed Phasma.
Yes.
I mean, that's no.
Who is amazing. Yeah, that's not like it's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Hey, what did you guys think he wanted to tell Ray before?
Force sensitive.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I saw Chris King shake his head earlier at that, and I want to know what you
look
think.
At him. He's all up.
I have a couple of things I want to jump in with.
Yeah, you've been on mute.
Yeah, I had to mute it because of my dog, and then there was actually, I think there was just a big fight outside because I think I heard someone screaming like, "What the fuck are you doing?" or whatever. And then more fireworks going off, and then no, dude, I don't need to go outside for that. I'm in my apartment. I'm good. I live in a brick building. Unless they come through the windows, I'm pretty much straight up. But I just went through my dog in the bathroom because she wasn't going to stop. But okay, a couple things. Project Luminous, so when it was announced and at Celebration, everyone thought that Project Luminous was going to be from a certain point of view, but just Empire Strikes Back. So a certain point of view was Star Wars or A New Hope, and then Project Luminous was going to be the same thing, just that equivalent wise.
The next chapter.
But as it's gone on and gone further from Celebration, it's more speculation on what's going to happen. Now, I never even thought about until you just said it, Josh, about it being Company 77 is the members of the troopers.
You got the visual there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Company 70. I really haven't had a chance to look, and I also got this bad boy.
Ooh.
It's the Galactic Explorers Guide.
Oh man, that's in my cart in Amazon. It's in my cart right now. Getting ready to pull the trigger.
And it's just funny because I haven't had a chance to look through the visual. I looked through it really quick, but I haven't had a chance to actually go through and dissect it and really read it. Or like this. But so that was it doesn't really say too much about Jana on here, except it says early 20s for her age, and just what we know from the movie. But now the other thing, I'm not going to call anybody out for not watching my advent calendar videos, even though they're only 3 minutes long. We won't do that right now because it's a new year, so it won't be so difficult. But I don't know how well you can see this. We have a new timeline for Star Wars.
Thanks, Jack.
I wish I could read it.
Hey, we can't see it. You're gonna have to read it.
A little closer.
I
don't know. I don't know if you can really see it or not, but this is a record of history as it relates to the current galactic conflict.
Oh, I've heard somebody. I've seen this. Go ahead, but read it. Yeah, I know.
The firing of the weapon that destroyed the Hosnian system, marking the start of an open war against the First Order. It is BSI before Starkiller Incident and ASI after Starkiller Incident. So we have a new timeline. 66 BSI, Senator Palpatine of Naboo, secretly the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, elected as Supreme Chancellor of Galactic Republic. So that would be 9 ABY is actually 66 BSI. So
Of course.
we have a new timeline now in Star Wars to go by, according to this dictionary. And then when you're looking at the dictionary, a few things that you might want to know about Lando Calrissian. 77 BSI, he was born. 44, 44 BSI is the Kessel Run, and he loses the Falcon to Solo. 38, he smuggles puffer pigs off Lothal.
Okay.
31, Cloud City is occupied by Empire. So 31 BSI would be Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
30, Lando fights Battle of Endor. 29 leads the liberation of Cloud City, so we get Cloud City back. 27, Han and Lando pursue gangster Feisengor. Now, this is all just kind of like, all right, why is Michael reading all this shit to us?
I forgot all about that book.
It's great. It's great.
Last
Well,
shot,
because
Read on.
because
Preach.
21 BSI, Lando's daughter is born.
Okay.
Ooh,
See.
19 BSI, Lando's daughter is kidnapped. Which
That's the
means
one I
she would be
heard. Yep.
she would be 2 years old when she was kidnapped, and
Empire.
according to the timeline, this last movie takes place in 1 BSI. It's no longer BSI; it's ASI or whatever the hell they call it.
Right.
Yeah, ASI. So 13 BSI, Lando accompanies Luke to Pisana. So that's when Lando and Luke were trying to do find the Wayfinder. 1 ASI, Lando aids the resistance. So that's when the last movie takes place. So we have Jana is in her early 20s. That's the only thing it tells us. It really doesn't give that much information about her. I mean, it might on other pages because it's like Kef Burr, there's a picture of her, so it like says some other stuff, but her page really doesn't say anything. So just on that Lando aspect, if luminous beings has nothing to do with, I was just looking in the chat. I don't know what's going on, but if luminous beings has nothing to do with the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, it just happens to be coming out the 40th anniversary year of it, and has to do then with, something else with force sensitive beings, could perfectly tie into what you were saying, with Company 77 being, see, I tried to talk and think and look something up at the same time, and I kind of lost it. But like it says, now see, all right, right there's Jana. Now that top one you can't see from what I've been told, according to Pete, the way he tries to kiss the camera. The top writing on there for her hair, it says Company 77 members have let their hair grow out in defiance of First Order regulations. Like, I don't really know what that has to do with anything. That's just why they're saying that she has like a, I don't know the technical term for it, but a shaggy fro or whatever the hairstyle. I don't know what it's called, but it's just like, I don't know why they give you some of those that like really
almost pointless
information that you don't like. That's not even like, it's just useless information on that one. So I guess that's what
hey,
it
Michael,
is.
can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, man.
Hey, so I'm trying to. I do have the visual dictionary. I just kind of went through it really quick once or twice to kind of look at the pictures. I haven't really read in depth everything, but Company 77. Now, is this something that do you think that Finn was a part of that he didn't know that they were part of with Jana, or is that something completely different as far as his company? You know what I mean? Like, it was maybe part of the same company, and that's why they all had this, this feeling, as they call it, or what do you think?
I'm not sure, because it was also brought up on something that I heard where people talking about Finn was never. One of the problems people have with this last movie is Finn being force sensitive out of nowhere. And someone bringing up the fact that in the first movie, Kylo Ren stops and looks right at Finn because he sensed he was force sensitive. Because there's no other reason for him to stop and look at him the way he did. Like, so that could be a tie-in. But
you know what? Every time I watch that scene, every time I look to my wife, because we always have this thing about characters in movies, like, why didn't he just shoot him in the head? You know, just get rid of him. Problem solved. And every time I see Kylo look at Finn, I senses he sees a problem. You know, in the future. And I always tell her, like, he could have just got rid of him, but why didn't he? But he did. There was something about Finn, man. He knew something was going on with him.
Then when he's talking, when he's talking to what's her name? I can't think of it right now. When he's talking to on the ship right after.
Talking about Force Awakens.
Yeah, Kylo's. They're talking about the stormtrooper.
Phasma?
Yeah.
Phasma? No.
Yeah, Phasma. It's like, so Phasma doesn't know that he's something special, but Finn, you know, Phasma knows who Finn is just by who Finn is, because he was he was an up and coming star. Yeah, he mopped the decks or whatever, but you know, he's like the standout of the group. So, you know, like, well, why is he so great at being a stormtrooper when stormtroopers are all fucking idiots? Well, because he's sensitive in the Force. That's why he's excelling way faster, way beyond everybody
Kylo
else.
knew him by his name, or you know, number. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, so he could be by the same company, or was it that at the same time when Finn decided not to shoot in the Force Awakens?
No, you think
that Company
like,
77 was wherever they were, because Company 77 as a group decided not to shoot, and they all just had a feeling. So were they all Force sensitive, or you know, was it that Finn had this feeling at the same time they did, and was it that it's you know, Finn's his sister? You know, that we don't know about yet, because
there's something that Chris said, how things didn't kind of jive from how, you know, Finn was portrayed in The Last Jedi as opposed to The Rise of Skywalker. And sometimes you just got to tell yourself, man, it's Star Wars, you know, you got to go with what they give you. Like, you know, like, hey, you know, like, you know, teddy bear Ewoks defeated the Empire kind of, and you know, Return of the Jedi. You just got to, I'm not trying to, like, you know, dispute your claim, Chris. I understand totally, man. It went a whole different direction. But yeah, sometimes you just got to go with what they do, man. You do. Unfortunately, you know,
either you love
whether you like it or not, you know, like, which you can like it, which is great, or not. And I understand there's a lot of things I don't like about the movies, you know, and I get you, man.
And I also think it's like, you know, if Rural Farm Boy was here right now, he'd be getting upset that I said, you know, that Finn, you know, could Finn and Jana be brother and sister, because I feel the same way that he does, that I want I want to expand the Star Wars universe. I don't want everybody to be related, but you know, they're playing it with, you know, Jana. Oh my God, they started again. Jana and Lando are, you know, father and daughter. You know, which that's okay, because then if they start doing a Jana story, and you know, the story of Company 77 and whatever happens with them, and then, you know, goes on to talk about Jana, that doesn't involve you know, that goes into the future a couple of years and talks about Jana's story that doesn't involve the Skywalkers or anything like that. if they don't talk about Lando anymore after it's established that he's the father, that's okay, because they, just as long as it, that's like the Star Wars saga is where like the heart of your family tree, and then you just branch off and you don't come back to it, or like the storytelling.
Yeah,
I just don't want to
like
see
you
it
have an
coming.
arc.
I don't want like, so this is where we are, and we're going to move on from it, and then the next story is going to move on from it and move on from it. But that's where your roots are. I just don't want to see it be, keep coming back to it and not letting the universe expand.
Yeah, yeah, Michael, I get you, man. Like, I'm one of those guys that's very easy to please. Like, Star Wars is never gonna upset me. Whatever they tell me, I'm gonna accept as a story, as Rural Farm Boy would say. Whatever the story is, I'm gonna listen
Good
to it.
story.
I'm gonna love it, man. But yeah, I understand Chris's comments. Like, it was a great departure for Finn from the first to the third movie, but that's the story we have, and as a Star Wars fan, I accept it, and I love it, man. And what are you gonna do, right? That's what they gave us.
Yeah, I'm easy to please
I'm
too.
with you.
That's where when people are talking about, it's a filler episode, it's a filler episode. It's like, that everything can be action packed. You need a little bit of break here and there, and who knows what's going to happen 5 episodes from now if it was a filler, or next season if it was a filler, or like with Resistance. I know a lot of people aren't too into Resistance because it's been, it ended on such a high note last season, and this season's kind of been, in between, but. Everyone
I
wanted
haven't seen the last 2 episodes, so don't say anything about it.
But everybody, so even going back a few episodes, everybody wants to see, how come we're not seeing the fighters? How come we're not seeing the fighters and the racing? And then all of a sudden they give us an episode where it's just nothing but racing, and everybody's pissed because it's a filler episode. That's what we were talking about last night, and it's like, so, fucking what the fuck do you want? Like, you want filler? Give me this, and we give it to you, but that's not helping the plot. So you
can't like expect what you think you want to happen because
it's the whole expectation
thing. Disappointed at some point. You just can't do that, man. You just got to go with the flow, and what you see, it's Star Wars, man. Just take it and love it.
It goes back to what Michael was saying, about an hour ago, I guess, is we're 1%. Like, the 5 of us here are probably about the 1% where you just take it and you enjoy it. And it's Star Wars. It's a hobby. It's something. And it's like me and Pete have been have been talking about in the last, 3-4 shows. This is made for kids. Honestly, that's the target audience is kids. And not like little itty bitty. My son is 6. He freaking loves it. But George came out in 77. Target audience was 10, 12, 13, 14-year-olds trying to transition into their adulthood. And this is just a mythology for people to learn things. Man, if people would just stop and think for just 5 seconds, okay, I didn't like this section of Star Wars. I didn't like this part. But was it meant for me, or was it meant for somebody else? And just take it and roll with it. I think that's where a lot of the issues come from. But, dude, like we've talked about time and time again, there's always something for somebody. Right? I mean, the racing's cool. This would be a much happier place if people would stop and think, okay, this episode didn't jive with me. Like, I've been harping on Resistance here, 2-3 weeks now, Pete?
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's not meant for me, damn it. It's meant for kids that are watching Disney XD, not a 30-some-year-old child.
It's for your inner child, buddy.
Right. And it, like you said, 57 or 56, that's what it's meant to target, right? That's where it brings everybody at. That's the common core. And it goes back to what Michael was saying, is this is the heart of Star Wars, is 1 through 9, the movies. And not everybody watches the Clone Wars or Rebels or Resistance or whatever the hell, but there's always something more to be told. And we just talked about this several hours ago, either on the live chat or in our podcast, is like there's so much more left to be told to us. Sit back, wait, and enjoy it, man. Going into that, so we've kind of tackled Luminous. What else is there that you guys are looking forward to for this next coming year?
Oh man, the
Is there any-
Clone Wars next season, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, February.
Holy shit. I mean, they're gonna lay some heavy stuff on us, I think, to tie into the Mandalorian series also, I think. As far as
Oh,
what
yeah.
How do
happened,
y'all feel?
between what we saw and what we have seen in the Mandalorian, there's gonna be some filler there. They're gonna fill in some blanks for us.
Oh yeah. How'd you feel about the E.K. Johnston novel with Ahsoka? As far as like respects to what we're going to see in the Clone Wars coming up.
Pete, I'm gonna hand this one off to you because I have not listened to that one yet.
So
Oh, really?
what I think about that is that the E.K. Johnston Ahsoka novel had very little to do with what we're gonna get in February's season 7 of the Clone Wars, 6, 7, whatever you want to call it, because they briefly touched on the Siege of Mandalore, and that's what we're gonna get. Hopefully, plus a couple other things. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking like February is going to be real big for us. We're going to get a lot of stuff hopping in, like Easter eggs into the Mandalorian. I'm really excited about all of it. But yeah, I think E.K. Johnston's Ahsoka is still recommended reading for everybody, especially if you want to go with the audio version, which is read by Ashley Eckstein. Straight up, all around.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you guys think about the next 3 issues of the Rise of Kylo Ren? Because I was pretty like I did want to get some more backstory on Snoke, not just some like test tube babies and what we saw, of maybe failed editions of Snoke. But I want to know what the hell was going on there, man. Like that's some really important information as far as just being a Star Wars fan. I want to know that shit.
So, do you know anything about the next 3?
Oh man, I had the synopsis. I check a site every day called Star Wars Newsnet.
Okay.
And they have a podcast called The Resistance. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but anyway,
No.
Star Wars Newsnet, and they're pretty much on on everything. So, and they did a whole really in-depth synopsis of the comic without having to read it with a few pictures. So I got the first issue, but they have not. Is the second issue released yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. So I'm looking forward to that.
Tomorrow?
I don't know. No, the next comic books that are coming out this week are Thursday, and I feel like it's more towards the middle of January. And if I'm wrong, well, oh well.
Yeah, I didn't think it was this week at all. I think it might be next.
Right. Yeah, that's my most anticipated story coming up as far as learning. Hey, come on, man.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Drinking red wine now. I'm getting desperate. That's all I got now. I'm out of my Stella. But yeah, man, that's what I really want to know, that backstory of what's going on with Ren and Snoke. There's more. There has to be more that we need to know.
Yeah, and I think like the extra materials where you're gonna get it, whether it's comics or books. And I think for Charles Soule, Charles Soule is gonna tell us all the stories that we need to know. Like he's the man.
Who better?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I don't do comic books, but I did do the Darth Vader series.
Dude, were you disappointed?
Yeah, horns up to that one, man. Yep.
Hell yeah, buddy.
All right. Well, I have a break in barking right now and fireworks.
All right, go for it.
While we were talking about the Clone Wars, everybody knows Corey Van Dyke.
Yeah.
He just posted. I don't know where the hell it went on. I was looking for something and it disappeared. But he posted on Twitter. Clone Wars is going to be bigger than most of you think in 2020. Just heard something super exciting. I am so pumped. So, so I don't know what that entails. I'm gonna guess. That's like one of the things. Corey and Noah always are. Sometimes get the inside scoop, and with them, they get the actors and things like that on their YouTube channels or their podcasts or streams or whatever. So they might have picked up something.
Hey, Michael, quick question.
Yeah.
Is Corey Van Dyke part of that Jason Ward making Star Wars clan of people where they kind of okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, what that is, or if it was, just speculation on what he heard, but he might have heard something good. So it might be like we were just talking about how Clone Wars is going to be like Dale just said in the chat. Clone Wars season 7 is going to hit us hard in the feels. Corey might have heard something that is going to, make us all kind of be wowed. Like maybe it's a Baby Yoda reveal, or the Darksaber coming out at the end of the Mandalorian. I talked about the Darksaber in yesterday's chat, and somebody's like, I haven't seen it yet, and I was like, I'm sorry, but like it's and I felt bad. He's like, oh, don't worry, I've already heard about it. But it's like, I mean, if I don't know how many times we've talked about spoilers and said this is going to be a spoiler and whatever. It was his first time in the chat though, and he was like, oh, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, so so the Darksaber, coming out, and it's like, so what is this gonna what is the Clone Wars gonna do in this season that, I mean, anything's gonna be excite Corey about the Clone Wars, but that's gonna have him think that everyone else is gonna be as excited about it as he is.
So do you think
Mandalorian level?
Excited as in a kind of like like yes, or maybe like oh my god, somebody like an emotional type of thing where maybe Bo-Katan maybe perished or something. That's why she doesn't have the Darksaber. That's what do you think he meant by that? Because that's the first thing that came to my mind is what happened. Where's Bo-Katan? What's going on with her? Why doesn't she have the Darksaber? It can't be a good thing. It can't be a good thing why she doesn't have it. Right?
I mean, obviously, yeah. I hate to say that word, but yeah. I mean, it's not in the hand of a Mandalorian, so there's obviously something going on that's not good.
Because she was one way or the other, she's dead, or the saber fell out of her hands, and the ISB picked it up somehow.
Fuck you.
Really pushed, maybe.
I don't like it any better than you, Jeff.
Oh no.
I just love saying the gonk here and there, man.
Yeah. I don't allow that, but this is not my channel.
Oh, Michael, I'm sorry. Do you allow gonks?
Only every other time.
Okay.
Only every other gonk is allowed.
I'm gonna clean it up. Sorry.
Oh no! I know. Especially sometimes when I go off, I just said fuck like 8 times in a row. I think in my last tirade that I went on. So
apparently, I left a very gonk sized voicemail. Josh,
just a little bit.
Right,
dude, we were cracking up. No, it's all good.
Dude, my problem is I recorded that and just sent it off and didn't even listen to it, man. Like
that's the way.
No idea what
this is the way.
Anyway,
I'm not the one editing, so you apologize to the guy up above me.
We'll hear that later. Next the next topic.
Hopefully by Saturday, yeah.
Oh God.
No, it ain't that bad, buddy.
No, it was good. It's all good.
Like I said, I can be myself on your podcast, bros.
Of course, man. Hey, we would expect nothing less, buddy.
You can call into their podcast and get gonked. You can come on here and not get gonked. So you got it, the best of both worlds.
Exactly. Get gonked or don't. Just pick a day.
Do it.
This is really cool.
So, yeah, I definitely I'm telling you guys, I was about to tell you guys, if you get the chance, go ahead and look through the visual dictionary. You won't be disappointed. But I've had it since the first day, and I, didn't even open it for a day or two. Like didn't even open the box for a day or two, and I still haven't. It's like I'll take a minute or two here and I'll look it up like, oh, that's really cool. All right, and I'll like forget that I'm on the chat, and I'm like, oh, okay, because that's like the only time I've actually looked at it. But I got some. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks because at my job I'm getting a double promotion, but they can't take me. I can't get promoted because they can't take me away to train me because they need someone to do my job first. And it's just like kind of like a vicious circle. And then they can't afford to train me and have someone else do my job at the same time. And I don't know if that makes sense to you for like the hours they're allotted and everything.
Makes sense.
So it's just corporate bullshit. So in order to do that, they've changed my schedule around. So I'll be working like mornings or mid shifts instead of like second shift or whatever. So I'll have more free time to hopefully get caught up on the reference books and comics and everything.
Man, a double promotion and more free time for Star Wars. Hats off to you, man.
So that I can,
you're the man.
Then I can yell at you guys for not being caught up on these things that I haven't been caught up on yet. But
we do our best.
I try to, but it's like somebody said something the other day, and it's like, if I wasn't talking to you guys right now, I'd be playing Fallen Order. So I'd have Fallen Order done. I'd be done with Fallen Order. But if I was playing Fallen Order, I wouldn't be talking to you guys. So, and if I wasn't talking to you guys or playing Fallen Order, I'd be watching I'm doing a Rebels rewatch. So I binged when Disney Plus first came out. I binged the first season of Rebels in like a day and a half. And now it's just an episode here and there as I kind of almost done with the third season. But if I wasn't doing that, I'd be reading the books or listening to podcasts or, I've gone from, beating Rural Farm Boy and podcast listening to not listening to any podcast just so I can talk to everybody. And kind of, it's a catch-22.
Juggling act.
There's not enough hours in the day to get enough content in.
I got a question for you. You're playing some Jedi Fallen Order. What difficulty level are you playing on, and are you switching around?
I'm not on the hardest one. I'm on the second hardest one, and I haven't switched yet. But I haven't really played. My idea when it came out was I'm going to play this and I'm going to stream it and I'm going to do it in a weekend and blah blah blah. And I'm going to be so great at it. And I bought an Xbox in 2001 or 2002. That's the last video game system or set of video games I bought. And that went away really quickly. So I really haven't played any video games since then until this one. And when my dog broke my computer, so I had to get a new computer. And I got a gaming computer, so I'm all set up and ready to go. And didn't know how to work it to stream. And the first 2-hour stream I did, it was me trying to figure out why things weren't working and controllers and everything. And then
hard times.
Then the next day I did another 2-hour stream, and it was still trying to figure out the problems. But if I wouldn't have been streaming it, people wouldn't have been in the stream trying to help me, wouldn't have been able to help me. And then it's just so the last couple I'm on. My next stream I do is I think stream number 6 or stream number 7, and I'm actually just starting to get into playing, and I'm on the second planet right now. I haven't gone far at all. So I still have ways to go because the first two times I played really didn't count, and then the third time I played was me just trying to remember what I didn't do right on the first 2 times. So I've really only played for an hour or 2 of actual playing time. So, but I've played it. I've probably streamed about 10 hours, but I've only played an hour or 2 of it.
I understand.
So I will be, I will be getting more streaming going on. I'll probably, after we hang this up, my plan is to stream, but we'll see what happens after I walk the dog and eat. You know, I might just decide to watch some Rebels and go to sleep. But, you know.
Makes sense.
You be careful out there. Walking the dog.
Hey, Michael, quick
All that
question. Do you have a podcast that you do, or it's just
I do not. I have this.
I was just wondering.
No, I do. We talked about earlier. I tried every combination of YouTube type thing until I found out what I wanted to do, and it was just kind of like this live stream where just people just come on and talk about whatever Star Wars stuff it is, and you know, sometimes it's not spending enough time talking about a certain subject, and sometimes it's spending way too much time talking about a certain subject. And you know, people just come in and pop in and out, and you know, you can either be in the chat or be here talking.
I was just kind of wondering. You kind of have the voice for that kind of thing, and I was wondering if you had one. If you did, I was going to subscribe.
Right.
But you know, so hey, just wanted to know.
Well, I've actually, some people have been telling me that I should turn this into a podcast, and it's like, I mean, I can, you know, not turn it into a podcast, but if I can figure out how to take the audio and throw it on a podcast and just have, you know, a 2-hour talk of nonsense that somebody wants to listen to, you know, then, you know, that would be, you know, something.
Hey, Pete and Josh suck. He could be way better than those guys.
Well, I tell you what, buddy, if you need a hand, hit me up, and I'll direct you in the right way. This is the way.
This is the way. Pete has spoken.
Yeah, man. If nothing
Tell you
else,
what, man.
come on, Jan Transmissions. If
I'm
nothing
gonna
else,
say
man.
one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say one fucking thing, man. Like I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, like Rural Farm Boy. Not as much as him. Like he's crazy, but I had to whittle it down to about 4 or 5 a week, man. And Jam Transmissions is my number one go-to, man. These guys are the fucking shit, man. I'm telling you.
You know, that was me too.
They just got the
their
you know,
pre-Rise of
you ever
Skywalker.
heard the fucking It Factor, man? They had it, so.
Hey, thanks, y'all.
That's all I gotta say, man.
Hey, appreciate that, Jeff.
Appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome, my friends.
Damn.
Oh,
But yeah, no, I got
Chris?
into my podcatcher actually. I was using Podbean or BeanPod or whatever it was, and about 4 or 5 months ago, or however many months ago, I don't really remember, erased all my podcasts, and so I went to Google podcast, and I had about 140 podcasts on there, and I mean the majority of them I listened to. There was some of them I listened to everything that was on there. There were some that like hadn't recorded in months, or you know, were like every other week or whatever it was. But I would listen on double play, and that's, you know, the thing about New York City is walking my dog and taking the train to work or whatever. I could do 4 or 5 hours of podcasts easily, and I listen at double speed. So that's like 10 hours of podcast. So you figure if it was if a podcast was an hour, I could do 10 podcasts in a day. And that doesn't include, you know, if I'm listening at work or, you know, get the chance to, or, you know, whatever it was. But I mean, so I was listening to probably about 120 podcasts a week. You know, like, but they're like seven, like, well, you had like, well, I mean, like one of them was 7 by 7. I only count that as one, but that's 7 minutes, and you know that, and if it's on double speed, you know, I don't even have time to walk my dog outside before it's already over. You know, so I mean, just things like that, or you get like Force Toast is on every other week. But so once I started, I built my podcast back up to about 60, and Google Playlist or Google Podcast deleted them again. So I went back up to about another 60, deleted it again. So I now went back to Podbean or BeanPod, whatever the fuck it is, and I'm back up to about, like, before, like, I just went on and started like adding them back on what I used to have, and now it's just like I'm at about 20 or 25. Not everything's on that one, so I do have a couple on. the Google podcast or whatever it's called, like My Life Debt. That one's not on there, so I have I have that one on there. But it's just it's like when I'm out of nowhere, I'll be like, I haven't heard this podcast in a while, and I'll put it on and be like, oh, I don't have it on there, and I'll add it to it instead of going back into I'd list all the podcasts like Anthony does, and I went back and just started going through everything that I listed and adding those, and I was like, well, I'm going to be in the same place I was before, so I'm just as it goes on, and then I'll be like, I haven't heard this podcast in 2 weeks. Why haven't I heard it? I'm like, oh, I don't have it on there, and just started building it back up that way.
Wait a minute,
But yeah,
I wanted to back up. You said forced toast, right?
yeah.
Josh, are you telling me that I outgonked forced toast?
Oh
These are
no,
not like
no, you don't have a chance.
I thought
You don't
said
have a
that
chance.
was like number one, man. I was like, okay, well, there's no
oh
way.
dude. No,
You may have,
That was my
Those girls
you may have beat Dallas from Bad
yeah.
Motivators.
Oh, he beat Dallas.
All right.
No, I don't know if you beat Alice or not. But it was just a joke.
I did
In
say,
16
Michael,
minutes, I bet you
I
did
was
beat
gonna
Alice.
say, like Michael was talking about podcasts, like besides yours, the other two that I have to listen to every week, man, like Blast Points. You guys know Blast Points?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's required listening every week. Those guys are just it, man. And Bad
Oh, yeah.
Motivators with Dallas, of course.
Yeah. Bad
Those-
Motivators.
Yeah, those guys, those two podcasts are just have to listen. Just must listen every week.
Yeah,
Be on
I'm
the lookout
up
for,
to
Chris
Michael, I
and
haven't-
Rick.
What was that?
Be on the lookout for Chris and Rick Villanueva's. Villanueva. God damn it.
Yeah.
They're starting one up.
Isn't that right?
Whoa. Hold up. Rick and who?
And Chris,
Chris,
right over
No way.
here.
over there. Oh my God, where's my finger?
Oh, it's from
Everything's backwards.
Kentucky? And Rick from Villanueva from Chicago are doing a podcast? Do we have a name yet, or is that top secret?
Bat shit crazy.
yeah,
Jammed Transfictions.
with their craziness. Like I thought my Yoda theory coming off and coming back to kill Palpatine, like that was some Chris King shit right there. That should be, that should win me some I don't know what writing awards are called, but that would be, I'd win it if whatever I knew what they were called.
So I'm assuming that the new podcast is going to be in conjunction with your newsletter that Zori Bliss is Ray's mother.
Insane in the membrane.
Bi-weekly.
I'll call it
semi-annual.
story.
What do
I
you
like
call
that.
it? What's the name of it?
Story.
The name of your newsletter is what, you said?
Letters from Zori.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's how the letters that she wrote today. It's all coming together.
Isn't there a band called Letters from something back in the day? No?
I don't know, buddy.
Nothing, drawing a blank, man. Letters from letter.
I don't know, man.
Man, I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry,
It's
sorry,
too late.
It's
buddy.
not metal, so it doesn't matter.
Emily? Wait, no, that's a book. That's a
Letters
book.
from Ezra.
Ezra.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard of that guy.
Oh, that's actually a band's name? I think it is, man.
You
Letters
never
from
know.
Ezra.
You never know.
I think, yeah, these things are fucking, they're grinding my brain, man. Letters from Ezra. I think it's a band's name, man.
Tesseract. What's that from?
Whatever. Letters from Zabarax. Who knows?
Chris's
There's
first letter from
actually
Zori.
some Star Wars metal out there. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a band called Snog, SNOGG. And I got to tell you, man, it's some really avant-garde shit, man. Like, and they're talking about, if you're familiar with Legends, they're talking about like the mother, as far as like the whole father, son, and daughter. And It's pretty wild, man. If you got 20 minutes and you got an open mind, check it out.
I'm sure you're familiar with
When
Galactic.
did you mention that?
I play that a lot on my intros, right?
Yeah, Galactic Empire, man. You turned me on to that in the last voicemail. That we actually it's been a wild Star Wars day, buddy. I've never heard them before.
Yeah.
I swear, dude. I swear I've never
We've
heard.
heard them,
Oh man!
but we've never like listened to them.
So did
Because
you
you
not
play 'em
realize,
for it.
like, the kind of
We didn't
metal
know who
that was.
Star Wars music I was playing? You didn't actually know what that was?
Some of it, no.
Wow, that's crazy, man. I thought you guys were kind of onto that.
No?
Somebody did a podcast all about Star Wars. I think it was Blast Points. I'd like to say it was a couple weeks ago. It could have been a couple months ago. All about Star Wars music.
Yeah, and they had a lot of metal stuff in there.
Yeah.
These guys.
And I replied.
Was it you guys?
I replied to them.
We
No.
did a most metal moments, but that's been months ago.
Yeah, most metal moments. I did like Star Wars music, just music, and that.
No, yeah, no, it was music. It was Star Wars music in general because it was like all genres of like hippy dippy crazy shit, and then like metal and
yeah, there's a lot
all
of metal stuff. Yeah.
like all genres
Hippie
or
dippy.
whatever it was.
And I do believe they mentioned the band Snog. Now that you mention it, because I
Really?
knew I heard that name before. And
It's wild. It's wild, dude.
it's crazy because I replied to them and I said, "You missed a big one, man." And I think I texted you, Pete, about one called by the band Malice. It's called Against the Empire.
Man, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, because it was one of my intro music and one of my stupid ass voicemails that I had, and I told you check it
Oh,
out.
we love them, Chris.
Yeah, we love them, man. Apparently, I
Malice
forgot.
Against the Empire. Check it out, man.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
As soon as we're done, I'm pulling it up.
It's in one of those '80s kind of. They were kind of like a Judas Priest ripoff band. So,
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Right up your alley.
you like Judas Priest, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Judas Priest.
Fuck yeah. So, are we Star Wars out or what, man? Are we good?
We're never Star Wars out, but you know, there's always time to save some.
For later?
For the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have family that was wishing me Happy New Year's that I need to reply to because they're not even. I don't even know if they're awake now, but
So hey, one of the things that I was going to say earlier, Pete, we got Finn sinking in the sand with Rey,
Yeah.
and
Zori's your mom.
what's
Am I right?
Zori's your mom. Finn found out when he was on in Company 77. He got the skinny on all of the. He read the records and found out of Zori Bliss and found out that Zori Bliss had a daughter that she left on Jakku.
joking, but
Listen, do I look like this is something to joke about? Look at what I have, okay?
It's in the book. You've been compromised.
Because I have.
but
Are you saying that Zori Bliss married a Palpatine?
All I know is
exactly what
all I know is she fucks.
Hey, maybe. I mean, there's the artificial insemination. Let's not forget about artificial insemination.
Because I just want to show you guys also on my second viewing, I took notes. Now, I don't know if you guys know what it's like to try and take notes in a movie theater.
I wanted
it's
to
dark
so bad. I wanted to so bad.
Can you?
here we go again.
Oh wow.
Yeah, those are my notes. So
Nice.
I need to try and decipher them. so that I can
Ray.
actually. It's like I got Ray. I don't really know. Like
Is
what
the
anything
daughter of Zori Bliss is what
Yes,
Chris
that's
wants
what I
to
wrote
know.
down. I didn't even know about
That's
that
what
part
Chris
there.
wants
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Mhm. So Finn has been speaking with Ray. No, Finn has been speaking with Leia. So, and Leia already knew that she was a Palpatine. So obviously she's gonna know that she was a daughter of Zori Bliss too. So Finn has been talking to her, and he knows that. So there you go. That's what it was. Finn was gonna tell her.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Josh,
Mm.
The whole hey,
The little red X is so close to my thumb. It's stupid. It's not mobile friendly.
Hey, Chris,
hey Ray.
I want to say that your last voicemail on the last episode of Jan's Transmissions is definitely my most entertaining listen of the whole run. Holy
They
shit,
keep
dude.
getting better.
That was fucking spectacular, man.
5 o'clock in the morning. I was like,
You broke.
I had no idea that Insane in the Membrane was the perfect choice for him. I had no idea.
I didn't know if you guys were going to realize that was actually that band when I left that GIF.
Oh yeah, Cypress Hill. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, don't play me out. Don't play me out, Jeff. Don't play me out. You know I know some music.
Okay, I kind of knew you guys would know, so I'll get them. I liked them too back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got going on for this week?
Are we gonna
just the whole.
Are we gonna leave this one on?
Oh, hey Ray, I'm force sensitive.
Hey,
I'm force
I mean, what did? All right. So let's say. So Chris, on that, like your best friend in the world, which
This
is
is a-
not a very big world because you've only been able to have friends for 1 year. You know.
Yeah. I'm there.
You have something in common with them that you've never had in common with anyone before that you know of, except for your sister, who is somehow, I don't even know where I was going with this, but yeah. So it's like, don't you think like we're gonna die? So before I die, I might as well tell you that I'm force sensitive too, or I love you. Which one are you gonna? Which one's more plausible?
Neither, because that's why do you want to waste your last breath saying I'm force sensitive?
You know what? Okay, all right. No. Seriously now. I'll honestly, what he really was probably going to tell her is that he doesn't like sand.
He's upset by it.
Yes, and they're dying in a sand pit, so might as well tell him now.
Okay. Here
and
you
then
go.
that's how they tied them all together. Fuck everything else in Palpatine's. The whole sand thing ties everything together, and perfect story now.
Ray, I never told you I hate sand.
Yes. Think about
So-
that's perfect.
Luke Skywalker and Lando were there on Pisana. They found the ship, but they didn't find the Wayfinder. Wouldn't Luke have been able to tell it's probably right down there? So I guess my question is, did Luke know it was there and just think, did he foresee, I'm not supposed to be getting this right now, I need to leave it there, or did he really just not know?
Well, I heard two theories on this. The first theory was they never got a chance to finish looking for it because Lando's daughter got kidnapped, which now after reading the visual dictionary for that page doesn't make any sense because his daughter got kidnapped way before. So that one's out. The second one is when the Wayfinder wasn't there when they went to go look for it because You also find out from the visual dictionary that whatever the worm is, whatever it excretes, like through its pores or whatever, like a worm slime, it makes the structures stronger. The wormholes that it's making, so that however the Wayfinder got there, those structures weren't there before. And somehow the structures, the worm made those structures after they had left, and somehow the Wayfinder got there. How the Wayfinder got there, I don't know. Maybe the worm ate it and shit it out 10 years later, because that's how long its digestion takes. It's Star Wars, so just stop trying to figure everything
I don't
out.
like that
and
version of Star Wars.
and
No.
stop trying to figure everything out, and just be like a 10-year-old and be happy with whatever
Preach.
the maker gives you.
Thank
On
you,
that
Maker.
note, what do you think about this? So.
I don't want that to be the last thing we talk about. Is like a worm shitting out something. Peach is fucking like, he's like, oh my god.
I talk about this every day. What do worms shit?
Okay, I have one
Nerd.
question. Did you want it to be called a Wayfinder or a Holocron?
I don't care. Personally,
Just wondering.
what about you guys?
I don't
Wayfinder,
really
I'm good with
I
that.
don't really care. It's the whole what is it? Is it an AT-AT or an AT or an AT-AT? Well, they're both canon, so.
I just been heard people bitching about it. I don't bitch about it. It's like I said,
I
what they
don't
gave us,
really
we
care.
take.
But then again, a holocron is not a wayfinder. A wayfinder is like a map, or something to get you going. So I mean, they're two totally different things. If you don't want to call it a wayfinder, call it a compass or whatever makes you happy. But a holocron and a wayfinder are two different things.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that what people think, just because it's shaped like a holocron doesn't make it a holocron.
Right.
Like I'm shaped like a basketball player. Doesn't make me a basketball player. I'm 6'4". Am I a point guard? No.
No.
Exactly. Thank you.
I've seen this man move.
It's very slow and creaky.
Oh.
Ow.
Then it's like 3-second delay of trying to figure out what made ow.
Hey, Pete, congrats to your football team today. Was it today? And your basketball team for beating Louisville, which I can't stand.
Hey, thank you very much, my friend. Hey,
So root for my Michigan team tomorrow against Alabama.
I don't know if I can do that.
Are you wearing a Kentucky
Are you
shirt?
serious?
Yeah. Nice.
Well, it's SEC.
Alabama?
Though. It's SEC.
You rooting against for Alabama?
I'm not rooting either way.
Oh, SEC, right?
Yeah,
I get you, man. I get you.
Well, what's Chris King think about this?
Hold on. I would have been rooting for Alabama. But are you from Michigan?
Yeah, I'm originally from Michigan, so I've had some tough times losing to Ohio State for like 10 fucking years in a row. So
well, listen, that makes a difference. So if Michigan wins, the silver lining is Jeff's happy. So that's how I feel.
That's all that matters.
Gotcha.
So we've made New Year's in 2 time zones.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
No, wait. I didn't.
No wonder I'm yawning.
I thought we were all.
We've been going at this.
What are you in, Michael? You in Central?
6 hours?
No, I'm Eastern. I'm in New York City.
Yeah, we're all in the same spot.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
okay. I thought you meant somebody on this little chat was just.
Somebody.
We got to get Rez and Dale to Mountain Time.
Charlie Skywalker, he's still.
He's back. He's back.
Yeah, he keeps popping in and out. Kylo, who was in here earlier, he's Chicago. So he hit New Year's.
Just made it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He
didn't
was in
realize
here
we
yesterday.
had.
It didn't feel well, so
I didn't realize we had comments we could look at from at the far right here when I clicked on live comments. Now I see that. All right. So they got to hear me or say some stupid stuff.
I think we all did. We all did.
everything I said was gold.
All
Absolutely.
of it. It's all true. It's all true. All of it.
All of it. All right. So
All right, dudes, I think I'm about to go hit it.
I hear you, buddy.
yeah, I'm thinking it's about that time. I'm planning on doing some things and doing a little live streaming, but who knows? Maybe my girlfriend's never gonna be home tonight, so maybe I'll go to bed and wake up at like 5 a.m. and decide to live stream then with no one on to watch me. Well, California will still be on, so it'll be like 2 a.m. then. So not live stream. Live stream Fallen Order. So, but who knows?
This is the way.
It probably won't happen. I'll probably, be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch some Rebels and get ready to do it, and I'll just fall asleep, and the next thing you know, it'll be in the morning. So,
Pete, we've had headphones on since like what, 5 p.m.
Ooh, it's been a while. This is,
Triple-decker
it turned from a double decker to a triple decker Star Wars Day, and it's been great. Hey,
it's been awesome.
Hats off to all y'all. Hats off to all y'all.
All right. So, is everybody going to be at Celebration?
I'll be there.
No,
I'm thinking about it.
I'll be there on Thursday.
I live in Florida, and I couldn't even afford to go to the Orlando one, so I will definitely not be there.
I hear you, man.
I can't afford to go either, but I am.
Same.
Well, I asked my girlfriend, I was like, how come we're not going to Ireland this year? She's like, because you're going to Star Wars. And I was like, oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Makes sense.
Will you be there Thursday?
I am getting in, I think, Tuesday.
So yeah.
Or Wednesday. Yeah, I'm staying I was at Echo Base last year. And so that was like 15 or 20 people. And Echo Base split into 2 bases this year. I don't know what our name is this year. It's been called a bunch of different things. But I'm there with a bunch of podcasters and stuff. So
People are the worst.
Yes. So so last year in the house I was in, it was Bad Motivators and Canto Bight Dispatch, and Sith List, and I know I'm forgetting people. Scruffy Podcasters were upstairs from us.
that at the Haunted
So it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of no sleeping. And with that many people, people on different schedules, and some people wanted to go to bed early, like 2 in the morning early, because they had to be up for to be down there at 9 in the morning. So you can only get 3 hours of sleep and whatever. It was just that many people. It's hard to get a sleep schedule down or functioning going on. So.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'll be there. I'll be staying in San Diego the night before, so that's about an hour and 15-minute drive up there to Anaheim. And let's meet up, man. Let's meet up.
Oh yeah, definitely. There'll be some time. I haven't bought my ticket yet. I forget what day we have the house. But we have the house for like a full week, so I don't know when the day in is and when the day out is. But still trying to figure out. I'm there. I might as well do Disney World or Disneyland, because I don't know when the next time I'm going to have a chance to go to Disneyland or Disney World is going to be.
Right.
And since I'm right fucking there, that saves, then I mean, you still have to pay to go to Disneyland, which is going to be expensive as hell, but I don't have to worry about getting there or staying or whatever. So,
Right.
and then it's also what kind of breaks are they going to give us or discounts, or, are they going to do a celebration night or do like after hours for celebration people? And then, how is that going to work too? Is it going to be a lottery, or, do you get to pick who you go with, or, there's just so many things up in the air right now, but yeah, I'll be there for, a week, an extra day or two, either before or after.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get out of here. And Michael, I'm appreciate what you're doing here. I can't wait to get on a few more of these. And Pete and Josh, my favorite podcast, man. Keep it up, man. Can't wait to get more, at least some more drunken, fucking voicemails. And Chris, do what you do. I want to hear some even better ones from you, man. All right. You're from Kentucky, man. So you gotta hang with these guys, man. All right. So, hey, man. I'm out of here. Later, dudes.
Take care, Jeff.
Thanks for stopping
Later,
by,
buddy.
Hey, man. See ya.
See ya. So
yeah, man. Thank you for having us, man. It was a wild ride, a real wild ride. Good times all around.
Yeah. I'm glad I convinced you guys to. I'm glad I convinced you guys to come on, so it wasn't just me. I didn't realize I was putting my YouTube channel on there, and then not I was like, oh, okay. People said they want to come on. People said they want to come on, and I'm like, here's the link to come on, because I usually don't put it in the chat just in case whoever comes in there, so I don't have to deal with them coming on. I just okay, you want to come on? I'll like send it on Twitter, whoever it is. And then I was like, okay, I'm putting no one wants to come on, but they keep saying they want to come on. What's going on?
So well, now we understand. Now we know. All right, Josh, everybody. Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Yeah. I'm gonna be in Lexington in February.
Oh yeah? What you doing there?
No, what's that? So my wife has a bunch of friends up that way, and she is coming to something. I think it's a Saturday. It's a Saturday night. So, perfect. Just thought I'd mention it to you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Message me like the date, and that way I can schedule some shit.
Hell yeah. We'll make it happen, buddy. We'll hang out.
Oh yeah.
Be awesome.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Big time. One of us will buy you a beer.
Hey, you get to have some Lexington beer. That's the finest beer in all of Kentucky.
Isn't that moonshine?
Go.
Well,
close.
That's a little different. But I mean, we can make that happen too, buddy. All you got to do is ask.
All right. So Dale's going to be going to Galaxy's Edge a couple days after, a day or two after, he said. So yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of all up in the air until we find out what. I mean, they have to be doing something. I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to put, 50,000 people there that want to go and not give them anything, or figure out a time to go that doesn't interfere with, celebration. So,
right.
Even if it's not discounts or whatever, but, kind of blocking off days where, if it's tickets are first come, first serve to celebration people or whatever they're going to do. I really have no idea. I'm just making shit up, but I just think there's got to be something that they're going to say, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I just can't imagine they're going to say there's not going to be anything for those people that are going that, has to do with the park also.
Yeah. Well, I'll be there Thursday, man. Let's meet up. And I want to meet up with Mr. Rez too. I'm going to be there with Shadow Clone. I want to meet with everybody there. I want to see Johnny Orm. I want to see everybody. So I'm really excited. I don't know what else to say. Can't wait. Just for one day. That's all I'll be there, and then I'll be flying back to Kentucky.
And hopefully I'll be hitting my 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. So
Hell
I'll be able to do
Yeah.
well, because I can't mobily live stream without having 1,000 subscribers. So
Oh, yeah?
that's what I need. So like if I take my phone or a Wi-Fi camera, I can't go to YouTube. I can't stream from it on YouTube without 1,000 subscribers.
Oh,
That's
okay.
like one of the stipulations.
Stupid rules.
Yeah. So that's what my whole push to get to the 1,000 is. It's not to monetize, because I'll never get enough viewer hours to monetize or be able to put out enough content, to, like people that, put out multiple days or whatever to get, they don't have the long view time like this, they don't have the long streams like this, like 2 hours or 3 hours, that they only have a half hour or whatever, but they get it in there because they get the numbers. I'm never going to have that because I don't have time or the schedule to do it. I just want to be able to walk around and have people be able to, watch and boss me around and say, go here, go there. And, look over, go talk to this person, or I want to see that person's cosplay. And,
Sounds awesome.
that's what the plan is.
So we'll make it happen, man. We'll be sharing everything all around.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Well, I'm hopping out. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you, Josh and Chris, for hanging out with us. It's been a blast.
My pleasure.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Thanks,
May
Mike.
the force be with you.
2020 is our year of Star Wars.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right. And then there were 3. So
Oh, I'm gonna have to put my kid to bed too.
yeah, my kid's kind of already gone to bed. She's her craziness.
Oh yeah. All the fireworks.
See you, Rez. See you, Dale.
Nice. Later, guys.
All right.
See you.
Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon.
I appreciate you having me, man. Good luck
All
to you,
right.
buddy. We'll share everything.
All right, Josh. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, bud.
All right. Have a good one. Happy New Year. All right, everybody. Once again, this went longer than I was planning. I was planning on just having it be midnight and getting off and doing what I had to do so I could play some video games and live stream that shit. But once again, my hour and a half ends up being 3 hours because for some reason, that's how long they are. That's not how long they're intended to be. But we start talking Star Wars, and that's how it is. So I'd like to thank everyone that was here tonight in the live chat. I'd like to thank everyone that was here in the chat. The people that we have left: Mr. Rez, Dale, Charlie, whoever's left that isn't in the chat, all that is still viewing, because that still leaves a few more people. I don't know who they are, but you know who you are. So yeah, 2019 was the year of Star Wars, but I think 2020 might be just as good, because we have the Clone Wars, we have Mandalorian, we have Project Luminous, which we still have no idea what it's about except a bunch of speculation. And there's a few other books coming out. We have another Padme book, and we have Anaheim. So, yeah, I don't know what else we have that we're forgetting about. We got some comics. Hopefully we get another video game. Hopefully I get this video game, Fallen Order, finished before 2020 is over. That would be nice. And yeah, whatever I'm forgetting for Star Wars stuff coming up, someone can let me know. Yeah, and let's get to 1,000 tomorrow. I'm gonna figure out. I think the consensus from yesterday was a couple of the duplicates I have. Throw those duplicates out there and call it a 750. So I think I'm gonna finalize that. I said tomorrow, but that'll be probably in the morning or whenever, so I can get that out there and get that working. So with that, I said good day. May the force be with you.